Podcast with Jenny and Jenny. This is the Noonas Podcast with Jenny and Jenny.
Dual set. Heart to heart. Noonas Podcast. Welcome back once again to the Noonas Podcast. As always, with your hosts, Jenny and Jenny.
Hello.
As we are back once again. Apologies for a bit of a delay in recording and stuff. Unfortunately, life came up once again for both of us. Some life happening / work happening. So a little bit of a delay on this episode of the Noonas Podcast. But we are back.
And as punishment, we have to go through how many music reviews?
Yeah, and as punishment for us, being having been delayed because of life, we have 10 reviews for you today. Yes, I said 10. Double-digit reviews. Last time we had double-digit reviews, though, was our comeback episode, but that was like, we knew that we were going to have that. That was kind of like a hit it and quit it.
Like a catch-up, just recommend this song to you or like this album and go on.
So those were nice and quick reviews. I mean, we might be speed running through reviews today a little bit. So because we have some like bigger albums, we have some single releases. So it's a little bit all over the board today in terms of reviews and stuff. So but we'll see how it goes, because I know we don't want to go too long because 10 reviews can be a little dragging. And usually I don't like to pile that much work onto us, but c'est la vie. Unfortunately, that's life. But we got everything today again. And I guess some news breaking too with some of the acts that we're reviewing today too. So we'll kind of be interspersing, I guess, news with our album reviews, because it's been kind of a bit of a tumultuous comeback for a lot of groups, I feel like, as of late. So just kind of feels like the right way to go about things today. So
yeah. Also in our review is going to be an interesting thing, because it's just going to be the two of us right now, but it's going to be some special guest popping up, but in a strange way. You're probably going to put like some like alien like effects, like coming down to say his piece.
I am not that talented with my audio editing yet. I need to. Ray, help me out on this. My Ray might tell me she might help me with some editing in the future. Ray, help me. But no, we do actually have a special guest joining us on the show today. Our really, really good friend, Andrew Stedl, another oppa, a friend of ours, who actually does a lot of music reviews and stuff on his own. He actually does have a music podcast on his own. He'll plug all this stuff at the end of the episode. He can't join us for the live recording today as much as we really, really wanted him to join us for the live recording, but fortunately schedules just couldn't match up for us to join us. But he is going to actually do a couple reviews on the side. So I'll probably be splicing them in between our reviews of the music. So might be kind of interesting, because he might agree with us, he might not agree with us,
and then we're just gonna be sitting there like, yes, I agree, or no, like, very good thoughts.
Yeah. So mostly he just hit us up because we were talking about the Psy comeback, which is one of the big ones we're talking about this week, towards the big comeback with Psy, obviously of Gangnam Style fame, but of other fame too in K-pop. He is one of the penultimate kings of the second generation in K-pop, period. Even the first generation. I think he's been around for a long, long time. He's like one of the original pillars of K-pop, if you want to consider it that far back too.
Yeah. You like when you have those quirky personas like JYP back in the days, and then Psy is almost as similar as that, with his sense of concept and humor.
Yeah, and for at least for YG's camp of things before he left YG and established his own record label. So very successful record label, I will say, as of late, as they're knocking on the door of another group debuting here coming up. Stay tuned. Stay tuned to our next episode for that one. But yeah, no, besides Psy's release this week, which we will talk about, like I said, we have a review from soloist Holland, who we'll talk a little bit about Holland and how he's basically very unique idol star,
Or
especially in
Korean
Korea.
artist. Yeah, Korean artist, I guess.
Yeah, he's a very unique standing, especially in K-pop. So we'll talk about him a little bit with his because it's technically an OST release. It's a soundtrack for a drama he's starring in currently.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll talk about a little bit more kind of like, I don't usually do OST releases, but this is a special situation and you'll find out why when we review it. You also have a comeback this week from fourth gen group Verivery. Kind of a follow-up to what we talked about a couple weeks ago with their newest album, Series O Round 3 Whole, which I think the previous one, Round 0, I think was like a prelude to this one. So we have their new album. We do have a new mini album from Monsta X to talk about this week, as well as a new mini album from fourth generation group Elast, which is a newer group I've kind of been stumbling into a little bit as of late. And they had some with their new album, Roar, that came out. We also have a new single release this week from Mamamoo singer Moonbyul, with Cheese in the Trap, as well as another B-side off of her single release. Like I said, we talked about Psy's release, his 9th album total. We do have a debut we're talking about this week with Sserafim of Source, the new girl group from Source Music. Under Hybe, so under the Hybe label, with their debut Fearless. We do finally have out of YG's Dungeon, finally, a comeback from the group iKon with their newest album Flashback, which I'm so happy that they're finally out of YG's Dungeon. They have a release because every other Kingdom group had a release, at least 2 releases.
Except for
iKon. But now they have a release. We have a new release this week also from soloist Woodz, as well as a new mini album release from Tomorrow by Together, also from Hybe and Big Hit Entertainment under the Hybe label. So yeah, we're just kind of all over the place again today. Little bit of solo work, a little bit of group, a lot of guy groups. I feel there are a lot of guy groups dropping music as of late. The girl groups, I felt like front loaded like beginning of the year, and now all the guy groups are like dumping stuff on us right now. So yeah, I'm getting a lot of boy group releases coming, and there's more down the pipeline. So I guess let's just get into it, shall we? Because we just want to speed run and go.
Yeah, we shall.
So that we shall. So let's get into it with our first review of the week. And this came back out on the 24th of April. And that, again, is from soloist Holland. And what's unique about Holland is that Holland is considered to be the first openly gay K-pop idol from Korea. And
yeah, I mean, there's a couple more, I guess, like people, like artists or like celebrities are under the LGBTQ umbrella, but it's like Holland is like the more well known.
Yeah, and what I'll say about Holland too is that, I mean, a lot of, and unfortunately, we talked about this, about how Korea is a bit of a conservative country, although there have been things have been changing.
Well, they just elected a conservative leader recently, so
yeah. I don't want to get into the politics of that, because apparently there's been other entertainers and stuff getting in trouble because of that as of late. Unfortunately, it's been kind of a mess since he was elected and is now into power, and we're all kind of collectively holding our breaths on how things are going to be happening in South Korea as of late with the new president. Yeah, since President Moon is now no longer in power. But what is interesting too with Holland, it's like, so because of that, he wasn't signed to a record label by an established company. So I believe he established his own company so he could release his own music. Mm-hmm. And with that, because his first song came out in 2018 with Neverland. And that was also very controversial in itself too, because it featured a male kiss, like male on male kiss. And because of that, it was rated 19, which is like a rated R, like rated TVMA rating in Korea.
kind of funny. Like, I mean, we don't. I don't think we see a lot of like Korean, I guess, or like some like kiss scenes in K-pop. But yeah,
Mhm.
it's just like it's just so funny. It's just like oh, guys kissing. It's been rated 19.
Right, exactly. It's it's like we've seen crazier things in K-pop videos. Like heck, in Hyphen, we saw blood coming down from the ceiling. We've seen crazier things in K-pop music videos, but two men kissing, draw the line at that. We can't have that, and we can't have that on
No,
TV. God forbid.
the children.
So
Look at the children.
yeah, let's think of the children, everybody. So yeah, he funded his own debut single to basically fund it and be able to promote it and stuff. And he's just kind of been able to work that way just by being able to work on his own. He's really a truly independent artist because he is working to really promote himself out there because he's very open about his sexuality, about being openly gay.
Very,
so
very.
He's very open about that. And that's actually why he chose the stage name Holland in the first name, because Holland Holland was the first country to legalize same-sex marriage. So that's why he chose the stage name Holland. Yeah.
Yeah, that's an interesting concept for a name.
Mm-hmm. So that's why he chose the stage name. I do follow him on Twitter. He's got a very beautiful Twitter account. He's also, because he's doing a lot of modeling and stuff too. It's like, because he hasn't released music in a while, because he released his first like debut single and album in 2018, and then had a single in 2019 called Loved You Better. But then he hasn't really released music since much during the pandemic. But so this is his first release in a couple of years, and it's actually for a web drama, because it's a boy love drama. So a lot of the boy love dramas I've seen have just been exclusively online. Although I will say it's nice that Viki actually does air them. I subscribe to Viki, which is a great app. They're not sponsored by Viki, by the way. Great app to like catch up on dramas, especially the ones that are not on like the main channels in Korea. So they're like on the more like cable channels, so they're a little bit more adult dramas occasionally. But yeah, so this is he's currently actually starring in this boy love drama as well, and so he also did the OST, and the song is called Ocean Like Me. And I will say, at least for the song itself, like it's kind of got that like kind of like that magical feeling that I've kind of correlated with his music, because he does have like this fantasy kind of style.
It's a very soothing, like a dreamscape type of like mood to it. It's like especially like if you listen to like Neverland, obvious name, choice, and I'm Not Afraid. That's like one of my favorite songs from Holland. It's like it like leaves you. It's like your soul like transcends into like being so free. As to say, I think it really works on like his his stance and what he is personally. It really creates that like that nice like fantasy life, like you wanted to escape from all the stigma of like what you are, and just be free and who you want to be. So I think it really works on his musicality.
Yeah, I agree with that, because it's very, I think because his music offers an escape, I think, for people who are struggling, especially for, I think, the Korean LGBTQ population, which is, they are becoming more vocal and becoming a little bit more, accepted by society. I mean, there's still a lot of stigma to them. I mean, there's more, like, it sounds like I've read like studies and stuff that like the younger population in Korea is more accepting of the gay community and of those kinds of relationships and stuff. So the tides are turning, but tides do change a little bit slowly, especially when people empower the older generation. So the tides do change. I will say, I think it's a little safe for him. It was a little bit of a safe song. Like, it's not as like dynamic, bombastic, like as something like Neverland or what was the other one I really, really like of his? I'm Not Afraid.
Yeah,
because I really like those two, because those are like some of his like debut tracks, and like those are super, super powerful, super impactful songs. It feels a little safe because it's I think for an OST, but it still kind of has like that dreamlike fantasy quality to it with his vocality.
Yeah.
So it's just really nice to finally see him dropping music again, because I've missed him having music out. Because I really do love Neverland. I really do love I'm Not Afraid and I'm So Afraid. Those are great. I'm Not Afraid and I'm So Afraid are great, like, companion songs to one another.
Right.
Highly recommend you listen to those songs of his. And I guess what makes it sadder too is that after he dropped this, and since he's currently starring in this drama and stuff that's airing, it was announced, he announced this on his Twitter, that back on May 5th, he was actually out and about with his manager and his friend out in Iteawon, which is a pretty it's a pretty foreign friendly neighborhood in Seoul. It's a pretty like open community in Iteawon. Like, there's a couple gay bars, and so like it's very, very foreign friendly. Like, there's more foreigners and stuff in there, so it's a very, very open area in terms of like people being, very inclusive and stuff. Unfortunately, Holland was assaulted by a stranger and was punched twice by a stranger while he was out with his manager and his friend, and actually had to go to the hospital because he actually received a pretty severe injury to his nose. Like, it actually scarred.
Yeah, I don't know if you want to show that, because we might have put like a trigger warning. But yeah, like, you could check out his Twitter, because he did post a picture of his injury there.
Yeah, if you want to see it, I don't know if we'll post it because it's a little graphic. So I don't know if we'll post a picture on our video form of our show. But if you want to check out his Twitter, he did post pictures on his Twitter. That's how actually we found out. It's because he talked about it on his Twitter very openly. And basically the man came up to him, called him, quote, a dirty gay, and then proceeded to hit him twice. So while they were all out and about, and I guess the good thing is, because they went to the police right away, and I guess the good thing is his friend was recording at the time and managed to catch the man hitting him. And thankfully, while they were actually at the police station reporting the assault, the man was brought in for obstructing traffic. And so they were able to actually point him out. And since they had the video footage, they were able to press charges against him. So
yeah, he was probably it doesn't excuse what he did, but he was probably intoxicated too at the time.
He probably was.
Yeah. Which still doesn't make it okay for him to punch, because I think he probably knows that's Holland, the openly gay idol. So it was
right, exactly. He obviously knew who he was. That's why he called him a dirty gay. Well, and also Holland admitted that he was dressed a little flamboyantly when he was out, which not to him. He should dress the way he wants to dress.
Yeah,
it's his life. But it did get some news coverage in Korea, because actually a lot of this came up. There was a Billboard article that came out just the other day, actually, where the reporter actually talked to him, and he's like, it got some coverage in Korea. And usually Holland doesn't go and read the comments on articles like this. And unfortunately, there was a lot of negative comments online in Korea regarding him, because again, there's still a lot of stigma towards the LGBTQ plus community over there. But it's been really positive to see, at least there's been outpouring support on his Twitter for him. Especially, I remember seeing the outpouring support when he first announced it. Because I remember when he first announced it back on the 5th, I was flabbergasted and shocked. And
I'm shocked, but I'm not that surprised, because it was bound to happen at some point, but I wish it didn't, because it's still pretty rough out there, and what the mindset is in Korea or a lot of East Asian countries.
And it's a shame that it happened, and it's a damn shame it happened, honestly. And hopefully, he's taking. I'm happy that Holland did take this stand and be very, very brave to take this open stand in a place that for most of the country will not accept him, but there's a very huge outsupporting of love for him overseas.
Mm-hmm.
He has a lot of overseas fans.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of us do support him overseas, and me included. And it's just but I know there's been a huge outpouring support for him on his Twitter and stuff, especially after that article was posted.
Yeah.
So.
Mm-hmm. And he also did announce too. I don't know how recent that was, but he also announced oh yeah, I have a boyfriend, so wanted to be with for the rest of my life. So yeah, at least look at the bright side, and at least hopefully he has his boyfriend to like, you know, continue to support him and just be on his side.
Yeah, he's really been very open about what he's been doing and stuff. Like his Twitter is very open. He's very, very, very inclusive. So
very expressive, and you know, like very commendable for having to, you know, be really confident and be as brave as he is.
Yeah, like I commend him for all the bravery he has to put up with, especially as a, you know, in his 20s having to put up with, in his, you know, late 20s having to put up with this, you know. You know, and we wish things would obviously move faster. Who knows how fast things will move now? I mean, it's hard to like know, because I mean, I obviously don't live in Korea, and it's hard to know how the culture's swinging, especially since they just elected a very conservative president in their country. But I know that's been kind of a backlash, and there's been a lot of, like, much here in America, there's been a lot of decisiveness in lots of countries around the world. We've kind of been noticing a trend, I think, in a lot of different countries, not just America, and not just you know, not just our home countries here, Jenny, in America and Canada, but all over the world. There's just been a very decisive, like
a reactionary, like, you know, like pushback from like, you know, politics and, you know, a lot of like, you know, those things.
So, yeah, but I know we don't like to get political on the show, but sometimes political things do seep into the industry, potentially. And I mean, this is maybe not super political, but you know, it's there's still
like a human thing and human decency, and like it's like human right to like live what you want, try to love who you want.
Exactly. So I'm just happy to know he's healing okay, and he's doing better with healing from the scar. It sounds like it's healing pretty well on his nose.
Yeah, I just really hope he doesn't like be traumatized from that event, and hopefully he can move on from there.
Yeah, I mean, I commend him for just going to the police right away and like being super, like, you know, on, you know, and the police actually, you know, legitly taking this seriously. So like, I commend that too, like that, because they could totally not have taken him seriously.
Could totally ignore them with like whatever, like their differences, like have.
Yeah. So like, at least the police were professional and actually, you know, he could push charges and stuff. So that made me extremely happy.
Hello, everybody listening to the Noonas podcast. This is Andrew. If you're wondering why I'm not there with Ginny and Jenny right now, unfortunately, I was not available to record with them the day that they were recording the podcast. However, I did want to go ahead and give y'all my reactions to all the music that they gave me. So I want to give a shout out to Ginny Leone for giving me these fantastic notes that I'll be going along with and discussing each song and album. And the first one we have, it's a very interesting track here. We have Holland, hope I said that right, Ocean Like Me. So I want to go ahead and right off the bat talk about how beautiful the melody of this song is. And I love how Holland uses like his vocal range to like give these beautiful melodies and beautiful like tones, and his like singing. His singing range is, oh my god, it's gorgeous. I absolutely like adore his singing on this track. But also, the number one thing that really stood out to me on this track that really like grabbed my attention was how gorgeous the fucking synthesizer was. I immediately noticed that, like, that melody just caught my attention right off the bat, and I was so like, it was exhilarating. It was so enthralling to listen to, and I love this track from beginning to end. And that's how I feel about the song. I do have another thing though that I want to address. That again, Ginny gave me here in the notes is Holland is one of, you know, is a openly, you know, he's an openly gay LGBT person in Korea. And you know, I didn't personally, I had to look this up, you know, all this stuff that she told me in the notes here that, you know, he's you know, there's been assaults, hate crimes, you know, people in the LGBT community, and quite frankly, I apologize to anybody who doesn't know this, who knows me or anything. Like, I am an openly bisexual man, and to read that there is so much like hatred and issues going on, just in the world, I suppose, in general, but like to hear it specifically towards this artist, and hearing that this is going on in Korea, and that they voted in like somebody who isn't going to support people in the LGBT community. It quite frankly, it just it kind of makes me upset. Part of me wants to get angry, but anger is not exactly going to solve anything in this matter. What I will say is that I hope things can get better over there for Holland. I've seen some interviews of him, and he seems like he's happy, and that's the number one thing that matters about him. And I'm proud he felt comfortable sharing with his audience that this is what he is, and that this is what he wants to present himself as, and I'm happy to hear that. And just so everybody knows, this is just my opinion, on that part too. So I'm educating myself every day on LGBTQ current events, and just things in general. I don't say to know everything about things of that nature as well. So I do apologize, if something, please, I absolutely educate me, because I'm educating myself as much as I can every day on, stuff of that matter. And, yeah, that's my thoughts on Holland's song Ocean Like Me. And I just wanted to mention that here in the, tail end of my reaction to that song. So yeah, come on back, and we'll listen to. I'll listen to this next album, and give my reaction.
So I guess let's just get right into it. And honestly, this is hilarious because literally I feel like it was like every day something is coming out. That's why we have a lot. That's why we have 10 reviews this week, you guys. Because this literally came out the next day on the 25th of April. And this is very, very the next day. Should include this one up the next day. But this is very, very back with the actual full album now, this time, Series 0, Round 3 Whole. So I know we just talked about very, very a couple weeks ago with their Series
Single.
0, Round 0. I don't remember what the subtitle of the completely is, but like I said, I think that was like a precursor to what was coming, because the title track, the 2 tracks off of that single release are on this album as well. So I knew it was kind of like a pre-release coming. So, but they are back. And then the title track off this one's called Undercover. And I will say this one definitely feels a little bit more darker, seedier, grittier than what I previously heard from them.
I think it's a nice continuation, because even their last music video, I forgot what the title is, but it's still it's like a very vivid thing, because they like talked about like mature subject matter, like for drugs and other like indulgence, and
right.
Yeah, like every like debauchery that you can like think of. Well, I mean, they didn't go all out in the video, but like they showed like imagery of drugs, pills.
They were implying a lot in that last music video. For those
yeah, and then like they're a new group, so like I was like, oh, I don't know if they're 4th generation, but I was like thinking, how old are they again?
Yeah, I think they're like. I think 2018. So they're like one of like the first like 4th generation groups. They're like right in the front of the 4th generation, because they've been around for a couple years now. And yeah, I mean it's kind of a continuation, I feel like, of a little bit, because like I mean because I mean again there's something with their music videos where they're like killing one another, and this time they're killing themselves. I swear, it's like I don't know what their whole entire their whole AU is. Fans are very, very pleased at me to tell me what the heck is going on, because I'm very confused. There's a lot happening.
Yeah, at least what they're doing is like it's very much associated with their group right now. So I can like pretty
Mhm.
much like I guess identify like, oh yeah, they like the group that does this.
Yes.
Talk
Yeah, I
about
know I
like
can at
heavy
least
subject matter.
yeah, I can at least connect their songs to like the heavy subject matter they're talking about, because this like, kind of feels like it's going the same way too, because I mean Undercover, like there's like really talking a lot about going really like changing themselves and stuff, so it's and yeah, it's very, like I said, it's very dark, very gritty. It kind of feels like a little bit like the song I know that really caught me when I first got into Very was from last year. It's called Getaway, and that one was kind of more like dark and sultry in a way too. And again, the music video for that one just caught me off guard because again, they're killing one another. I don't know what I said. I don't know what's happening in
Why
their
every
universe.
K-pop boyfriend are killing each other? What's going on?
Yeah, again, fans of Very, please at me. I don't know what's happening right now, and I'm confused, and I'd like some clarification. But yeah, there's just something gritty to it, and I feel like there's something a little I'm trying to put the right word into it, because it's like, I don't know, it's just like grittiness to it, and it's just like it's something you play like in a CD club. That's
Yeah,
the kind of vibe I
exactly.
got from it.
Exactly. I think like for me, like their last song was like you can like play it in in during the dead of like in a bar, dead of the night,
Mm-hmm.
really like drinking your sorrows away. And then this one is like kind of like like in like a really shady like club where you can just like dance and just like don't give a fuck what's happening.
Yeah, pretty much. Like you don't know what's happening in the corner over there. You don't care at this
like,
point because
like
you're like
this blood is coming out of
you're drinking.
the blood is coming out of the sprayers.
God, no, probably should have done hyphen high. No, I'm kidding. Yeah, it's just, yeah. I mean, I will say probably out of the two songs between Undercover and O, I might favor O a little bit more. I think it's just a little bit more dynamic
Mm-hmm.
in a way, whereas Undercover just feels a little one note, and not like it just, there felt like there could be a little bit more to it in my mind, in my opinion. Like there's just something missing to it. Whether I guess I just wanted a little bit more grungy or a little dirtier, because I think O just has a little bit more.
Yeah, exactly what I thought, because I think O was more memorable in a way, like because of, like in terms of like the stuff that they do in the music video, and as well as like even their music choice as well, like the production. It's like it's not as what you hear from other like K-pop groups. It was like has like a more slower, like more of like a bit of a rock tension to it. Just makes it more like unique and distinctive.
Yeah, it's something that stands out again, especially with the amount of fourth gen groups that are out there. It made it a little more distinctive. Whereas this kind of could fade away in the progenitive of all the other fourth gen K-pop groups out there. It's like it's nothing to really make it like stand out. So, were there any other tracks off of round 3 Whole that caught your eye or caught your ear, I guess?
Well, I dug like the tracks more than the Undercover title track, which is really dug a moment, which is like the first song before the title track with Undercover. Candle, it has like some like Boys to Men type of like R&B melody, and like even the harmonizations. Emotion is more like the electronic dance theme, is like more of my style. Velocity kind of reminds me of EXO's Gravity, because it has like that Tron theme type of like hyperspeed futuristic type of like production or like style into the music. And I think the one that really caught my ears was probably Keep Coming Over, because it's just pure chaotic in the way like they arranged their music. It's just like so many like loud like elements in some parts of the song, and then like they go like and do like these type of loud like chants, and then like go into like vocalization. So it might be like a hit and miss for some like listeners, but it was like just really interesting that what they do there.
Yeah, no, I like Coming Over because it was weird, because like the beginning even sounded like a little Linkin Parkish to me before it transformed into something like cyberpunk sounding. You know what I mean? What I'm talking about with that, it just
industrial, like an industrial type of like production.
Yeah, very industrial rock kind of sounds coming from that, and it's very loud and brash. But I really liked it. The nice thing is too, I think with the beginning of the album, because it's kind of this loud, chaotic coming at you with it.
Mhm.
And because I really I appreciate Coming Over. I liked Wish You Were Here, which is something I felt like it could be something like easily found on the top 40 here in the States. Something that just like that super bassy note. Like I said, I like that super bassy note just really being carried through. I think in the first 4 or 5 tracks of the album, like just helped really carry it through, kind of as a nice through line. I liked Fallen, which kind of was going a little bit more hip hoppy, which I do like when things go a little bit more hip hop. And then the one track that completely caught me off guard to the point that I thought I accidentally clicked something on my Spotify and I changed playlists was Childhood. Because I swear to God, I thought I accidentally clicked something and it started playing an 80s playlist because the intro to that song is exactly the same as Dancing with Butterfly Wings from 80s.
Oh, I see.
So I was confused as hell at first because I was like, wait, did I accidentally click something? Did I switch to my 80s playlist?
It's pretty much like I don't. I guess like because I have Spotify right now, and the thing I'm not a big fan of is just like they go to like the next song, after like you're done listening to the album, and then they don't stop right there. They just automatically puts you to like the next like song from like another group. Like, oh, okay.
Yeah, it's like the auto generating kind of thing. But that's like it just like caught me off guard because I was just like, wait a second, when did I turn on 80s? Like, because it was literally the same thing. And I was like, because I have a few 80s playlists because it's me, your girl. It's your resident 18 here. But I'm assuming they had gotten the rights from them to be able to use it because Childhood's basically like a remix version of Dancing with Butterfly Wings. So they must have gotten the rights because I know we've had.
Hopefully they didn't plagiarize. We just haven't had enough of plagiarizing in there, recently.
We haven't heard any other plagiarism news, so I'm assuming they got the rights legally.
Yeah,
so
I think I've been the victim of like plagiarisms lately.
Yeah, it's like not one more, please. And I couldn't double check to find out like if they were like if it was credited back to them because like I know
you approve.
That's Eden proved, that they signed off on it. I'm assuming they did. Because like I said, but I mean, I will say I prefer Dancing with Butterfly Wings a little bit better. It's just the way they kind of mixed it was a little strange. But like I said, it just caught me off guard. So it was just a weird moment I had.
Good area there. I'm not, really familiar with 80s yet, so I wouldn't know for sure. I was like, oh, it sounds familiar with this.
Yeah, after the show, I'll play them back to back for you, and you'll be like, holy cow! So like I said, it just caught me off guard completely. But
okay.
Yeah, I mean, overall, I think it's an okay album. It's not like anything like stand out to me.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just okay. So I think a little bit more polishing, a little bit more pumping up in some places. It could be something pretty good. Like I said, I think O is the better single. The previous title track that they did, I think, is a better title track than Undercover. But yeah, seriously, fans of Verivery, please tell me what's going on in your AU because I'm concerned. Many concerns with all the murder happening with each other. So
yeah, three of us stop murdering each other.
Yeah, because there's a lot of them killing each other and a lot of them killing themselves. So
hello everybody. Andrew checking back into the Noonas podcast. Our next reaction is very, very apologize to anybody in advance if I said the group's name incorrectly. But moving on, Series O Round 3 Hole. Don't know why I said that with so much pausing, but I did because it's dramatic. But yes, this is a very, 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 very interesting album that I can't wait to get into. So let's just jump right into it, shall we? So our first track, Moment. It's a very nice track with this good bass line throughout the whole thing. That's like it's just booming. It's like it's got me kind of bobbing my head a little bit. The group, their vocals, they just sound so good. They're oh my god. I'm kind of in awe of how good, honestly, this group sounds. As somebody who isn't really familiar with K-pop in general, it's such a good refreshing thing to jump into. So yeah, that's a good little track right there. Number 2, we have Undercover. This is a track that has just the minute you put it on, boom, you're hit with like a lot of energy going on with the production. And the group itself, very, they're like singing together and rapping on this one. Their flows are just, oh man, it's just so good. I really love this one. The beat is really good. I love how all of the members, they harmonize together, and oh my god, I can't, man. It's just so good. Track number 3, Coming Over. Man, the production on this one, it gets even crazier as this album goes on. This one, however, particularly, the production is very crazy and really out there, and I live for it. Dude, the members of this group sound so good on this track. They sound so good. Just like, it keeps getting better. Dude. The hook, coming over. I already have that stuck in my head, by the way. The nice little build up to the actual hook as well. Yeah, that's definitely one of my favorites for sure. That one right there, coming over. I almost sang it again. Track number 4, Wish You Were Here. This is actually a really nice track, by the way. I really love, the breakdown to the hook. I love the beat. Everything about this has me just kind of like bobbing my head along to it. Of course, they sound great. Moving on, Number 5, Candle. So this is where we get kind of thrown for a loop. We've got these like high energy songs, like, everything's great. I'm kind of like, I'm not gonna lie, I'm dancing a little bit, kind of, in my chair to like all these cool little tunes. But then we get this nice little song called Candle where, it's kind of, this nice little, those little snaps in the background. It's, the group's kind of harmonizing. It clearly, it's a love song, and, everything's all romantic. It's a nice little love ballad, the synths in the background. Oh my god, the synths in the background. Love it so much. I love it. One of my favorites for sure. Oh, yes, literally number 6. Oh. This is a nice little track. I love the guitar, and like this little subtle guitar in the background, and then all the different instruments clashing together to like make this boom, like fucking amazing song. Hell yeah, dude. Of course, how many times can I say this group sounds amazing? And you know why? Because they really do. And this song, it's beautiful. It's one of my favorites for sure. Track number 7. And by the way, I'm going to keep saying that tracks are my favorite because this album is great. Falling. Oh man, the production. Again, I'm going to kind of repeat myself. I'm going to try not to say it in the same way, but this one, oh my god. This one sounds just so beautiful. The breakdown to the actual hook. Oh my god. I love it so much. Oh my god. It's another one of my favorites. Track number 8, Childhood. Okay, so the guitar on this one, and there seems to be like this revolving theme with using guitars, by the way, like subtle different ways. But the guitar on this one particularly was like, it was a nice little, kind of guitar, and I loved hearing that in the background. The drums were a nice little touch, this nice little drums going on. Everything in the instrumentation on this track just like fit so well together. It's a nice little pop anthem that, I'm just kind of like, bobbing around to, and I love it so much. Definitely one of my favorites, as I've said for a bunch of these songs. Number 9, Emotion. Okay. This is a nice track because, we got this awesome beat going on, this electronic styled beat. I have a soft spot for like electronic songs, and I know that's kind of like, electronics. Everybody's like, oh man, electronic is like kind of overrated. And yeah, I know about that. I personally love it. So, whatever to that. And this is one of those tracks where if I fuck it, I don't care. I would dance to this song. I don't give a shit. I would dance to the song because the beat to the song is fucking awesome. The drums and the breakdown are awesome. This is totally one of my favorites. It's totally up there in the top. Like 3. It's hard to pick a favorite song, but it's one of my favorites for sure. Number 10, Velocity. Oh, the beat, the booming, the boom. Oh my god, the booming beat to this one, dude, with the drums and all that. Oh my god, dude. The guitar in the background, the way the group is flowing. Man, everything about that song. It's a really good song, dude. Getting to the tail end here, folks. Getting to the tail end here. 11, Our Spring. So the album's starting to close. It's a 12-song album. We have this nice little, each member, they're like kind of singing, their own little melody on here. It's kind of a nice little love ballad song. It mind you, very relaxing, by the way, to me. I thought it was very relaxing. I just kind of like closed my eyes, and I was enjoying like the vocals and the nice little guitar. I felt like I was floating on a cloud, while they were singing. It was amazing. Definitely. This is probably legit like my favorite song. Up there with the next track. Fine, 12. Number 12, Fine. Well, I can tell you this, and I can't believe I've gone through this whole reaction without doing a pun, but I can tell you this song is more than fine. And pause to go ahead and face palm at that pun. It was so awful. I apologize. But yeah, this is the last song on the album. It is a nice stripped back song again, love ballad. Really reminds me, like the last track as well. And that reminds me of like 90s love songs, early 2000s as well. I would say as well. And I really love this track. It's very relaxing, very nice. Again, I had to kind of have my eyes closed while I was listening to it, just really vibing with it. But yeah, that's my thoughts on, this album. And if I was to give it a rating, I kind of struggle to give it. You know what? I'm trying to think of a flaw. I'm trying to think of a flaw to this. To me, it was a great album experience. Maybe there's like little tiny things. I'm trying to think of it though. But I'd say it's pretty fair, like out of a 10 scale, to give it a 9.5 out of 10. It's a really solid album that I would definitely recommend for sure. So yeah, that's my reaction to this album. I'm going to check back in with you on the next reaction.
But with that, I guess let's move on to the next day. And this is the release from April 26th. And that is from third generation group Monsta X with their newest song, Shape of Love, with the title track called Love. And
it's very, very basic. Like the most simplistic like title. Yeah, from
I know when I saw it being announced, it was just called Love, and I was like,
"Hey,
really? Okay."
Like to say it like called The Shape of Love. That's like their album title. Like, okay.
I mean, and then there's just Love is the title track, and I'm like, okay, I guess we'll see where we're going from here. But I will say that the title track itself, like, it feels like Monsta X, like, take going back to like early 90s R&B. Like, if you took Monsta X and you transported them back like 20 years, 30 years, excuse me, I can do math, 30 years, back to like the early 90s and have them doing like R&B, because it's very, very much in the vein of like real smooth R&B, like you would see back in the day.
Yeah, you know what? I'm not gonna lie. When I tried to like listen to it for the first time when it first dropped, I was a bit unfair because I tried listening to it and then like the song kind of felt like going for like a generic road, so I just like stopped and then just stopped, and then when I have to like listen back to it, yeah, it was like because I stopped like quarter of the way of like the song. And then so when I went back to it and then had like a more clearer understanding of what they're doing, it's like, okay, actually, like appreciate that they're going for like a different route from like their like aggressive like EDM noise music, like the one they're most known for. And then like, yeah, because you know how I stopped, I think during like a chorus, or like when they went to the chorus before, and when I listened to everything, and then like the post, like when the chorus and then even the post chorus hits, like I was like really mesmerized because like the sax, like the way that they played, like because they have like the really jazzy elements into it. And when the sax hit, it was like just like wow, I was like really blown away by the how it sounded. It's like okay, now I understand, now I get it, and I apologize for like stopping it like quarter way in my first listen.
You're like, I didn't give it a fair shot. I mean, yeah, because like once that like jazzier with like the horns and stuff, like,
oh shit, it's like
I'm like, yeah, okay. Yeah, like at that point, I'm like, okay, now you're catching me. Now, because for me, it took me a minute too to kind of get into it, because I'm like, okay, this is like not like because as we've seen like previously with Monsta X, like they were kind of returning to form back, like they're like earlier stuff, especially with their newer stuff as of late. Yeah, with Rush Hour, because we both really liked Rush Hour a lot, and it was very hype. And yeah, this was kind of like going back to like a little bit more experimental stuff they were doing in like 2019, 2020. And I mean, yeah, once it kind of little torrent head and stuff, and I was just like, okay, now I'm getting into it. Now I'm feeling the vibe. Now I'm really getting it.
Yeah, able to appreciate the sound and like their music choice.
Yeah, like I said, I think the horns, and then when those strings pick up after the second post chorus, kind of like that the strings pick up towards the end there, I like that really really like clicked all the way for me, and I'm like, okay, this is a Monsta X song, even though it feels like 90s R&B, a little bit jazzy, like swing jazzy in there too. But it's still got elements of a Monsta X song, so it all clicks for me.
Yeah, Monsta X plus with like a mix of jazz. Yes, like Monsta X, and if you like jazz.
If you like jazz, yeah, it's very much in those veins. And like I said, because sometimes it's like sometimes when they experiment with stuff, like sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't work for me. So this one worked. So I do appreciate this one. Is there any other tracks off of this one that thought worked for you?
Sorry, I'm just like looking at my notes. I think I really like that the album it has like a more consistent like tone, like they have like they stuck to like a certain genre, and then they just like went all out with it. And I really love how it, like the jazz and the R&B spectrum kept like going into other B-sides, such as my favorite would be like Burning Up by featuring Rehab, because I like the last time I've heard like his music was when he did with Chungha's Dream of You, and I really love like the retro dance pop like that they put into it. So I would expect that they would do the same thing for Monsta X, and they really delivered, he really delivered on like the style, and it really worked on theirs too. Pretty much what I have. I think Burning Up was probably my most favorite out of all the album.
Yeah, I really enjoyed Burning Up. I think that was my favorite song outside the title track was Burning Up with featuring Rehab, because it continues that like jazzy big band sound to it, I guess, in a way. Also those R&B sounds in the best ways. And then there's a great feature on that with Rehab. Like it's greatly done. Like I think it's a well done song, and really it's I think one of my favorite songs of theirs as of late, honestly.
Yeah, it could be a good companion piece to Chungha's Dream of You. Like I can like listen to it like side by side with the Rehab greatest hits.
Yeah, I know. I need to listen some more Rehab, because I want to just hear like his solo stuff now, just to kind of get a vibe of like what his stuff is just by himself, because he's had some great features as of late. Obviously, the Chungha.
Yeah, there are more features that I know them like most for. So I want to check out more of their music.
Yeah, I want to check out more of his solo stuff. So, but I also like Breathe too, because there was definitely something throwback, and there's something nice with like the horn section. They felt very big band. Very jazzy big band horn, like, you know, you think back to like the swing eras and stuff. So I really liked Breathe in that way because, like I said, that nice through line of having like the hip hop, the more R&B jazzy sounds really do carry throughout. So yeah, I think this is a good listen.
Yeah.
I don't think it topped their last one with Rush Hour because that was just hits across the board. But it's a solid release.
A lot of excitement. Yeah, a lot of excitement with their music from their last album.
Yeah, that one hit on like all the right levels, and this one, I think it's a good follow up. It's like it doesn't hit as hard, but it's a good follow up for them. And like I said, I like when they when they're trying to experiment and when it works for them. And this was one that worked, I think. So this was a good one for them. So.
A good change up, a good change up, which we do appreciate and welcome.
We always appreciate
not like me in the first listen. Well, don't be like me.
Give it a chance all the way through, guys. You learn from Ginny.
Hello, everybody tuning in to the Noonas podcast. Andrew here, back again with another reaction. We now have Monsta X, the EP Shape of Love. Ironically, I do love this album, and the first track is Love, Number one, Love. So right off the bat, I gotta say I love the production to this track. It goes through so many twists and turns. Like there's like DJ scratching. There's like a lot of stuff going on in this track, man. And I mean the fact that this group goes from like singing to rapping, it's like the way they're melodically flowing together. Honestly, it really, for me, genuinely works. And also, I love the hook. I really do love the hook. It's a certified song. That's a head bobber at the beginning for sure. I love it. I love it. I love it. And I love it. Track number 2, Burning Up. Burning Up. Holy shit. Featuring Rehab. I'm a little familiar with this electronic artist Rehab. I've heard some remixes. I apologize to the folks that are fans of this artist out there. I'm not sure if I'm saying the name correctly, so apologies in advance for anybody that is listening in the future and is like screaming at the microphone, Andrew, you're not saying it right. I'm sorry. I tried. But anyways, Burning Up. It is this great song with electronic production. The beat itself instantly is kind of making me want to dance, like I'm kind of like dancing in my chair. Like I'm kind of like wanting to get up and dance because this beat, it's really good. And I tell you what, I instantly wanted to sing the hook. I instantly loved it. And all around, obviously, this group continues to fucking kill it with the singing, by the way. I don't even have to go on. You already know. You listen to the album, I hope so. Track number 3, Breathe. I don't know why I was going to say breath. Breathe. Just breathe, Andrew. You're going to get through this. Breathe. But yeah, as this album continues to go on into this song, I think it's breath. Just to clarify, I don't think it's breathe. It's breath. So I do apologize, actually. Correction within a correction. This album, it's going on. I'm loving it. I'm just falling in love with this group, and I'm loving it, loving every track so far. The way they're just so effortlessly making pop songs, they're just fucking catchy as fuck. And they're so well done. They're in my head already. I got to commend this group. They made a really solid EP so far on this one. So yeah. And the next one, number 4, Wildfire. Can you tell that these songs are catchy, guys? They're in my head. I love the piano on this track. I absolutely love the way each member flows on this. They're so smooth. And can you tell I love the hook of this song? It's already in my head. Man, the way they harmonize, it's great. I love it. Number 5. I apologize if this translation is incorrect, but I believe the translation is I love you. Number 5. Man, this was such a good, kind of a good like slow down moment. It's got it's a really good love song. We got that nice little bass in there. It's very infectious. It feels very genuine. All the vocals, the way they're singing it, everything. The electronic beat, it even kind of makes me want to dance a little bit too. Oddly enough, the way they sing it all together. Oh man, I'm here for it. Totally, absolutely. And our last track on this EP, number 6, and what a great ending track. Finishing strong with really good production. Everything's well put together. The group putting in a good performance, and yeah. And as you've noticed, like from the last reaction, I was saying fave to certain tracks. Well, I have to be frankly honest with you. I found this EP to be perfect, in my opinion. I thought Shape of Love was a really good EP. It's a good introduction to this group for me, and honestly, I vibe with all the production throughout this whole album, and I will be checking back in with Monsta X and listening to this again, probably. It'll probably be in the car jams, for sure. So yeah, that's my opinion on this, not about to say album, EP, and I'll check back in with you when I'm done with the next one.
But I guess our next one coming out on April 27th is for fourth generation group Elast with their third mini album Roar. So like I said, Elast is a newer group. They debuted back in 2021, I believe. Yeah, 2021. And they're the only group under the company E Entertainment, I believe. So they're under a very, very small label as well. And so, like I said, this is their third album currently. And they debuted back in 2020. Excuse me. So they're just about to get out of rookie status because the rookie status is 2 years. So, but yeah, there's kind of just, I think, been doing one album every year as of late. Or actually, they haven't had an album come out. They just had a single come out last year. It was a single album with Dark Dream, which I really, really enjoyed.
Yeah, I think, I've heard about, you mentioning them. So
yeah, Dark Dream, and then Dangerous as well, which was really, really, really good off of Awake. It was kind of like a secondary single off of Awake, which is their second album, and I really like Dangerous. It's a really good song. They're starting to get, I think, a little bit more popular and stuff. They're starting to pick up momentum with some like noticing in Korea with some of the fans outside of Korea. I know some friends of mine have been noticing them as well. And so I was actually kind of excited to like listen to this album because I've kind of been trying to kind of get to know them a little bit more. I do know two of them are hardcore 18s actually in the group. Like their two youngest members are hardcore 18s.
Nice. You know how like 18s are really like, so admiring of like BTS because of Woo Young, and now as a junior group is like admiring 18s. Like, wow.
I think one of them actually got to go to ATEEZ's show in Seoul and was like super, super excited. Like he was just so hyped. I can't remember which one. I think it was One Hook. I can't remember which one out of the top for me, but yeah, I know the two of them are like hardcore 18y. So, but like it's funny because you see like the people, because like you see the normal suspects, like you see, your BTSs, your 17s, your EXOs,
yeah, or Blackpink,
a lot of Taemin. A lot of people are inspired by Taemin, especially a lot of the dancers.
Yeah,
of course. A lot of the dancers, of course, are inspired by Taemin. So it's kind of funny when I was seeing like these groups coming up and getting inspired by like the older groups of the fourth generation. It's kind of surprising now. So.
It's kind of weird. It's kind of weird, but it's like so sweet. It's like kind of sweet at the same time.
It is. But I will say, yeah, the title track of this one, Creature, definitely got me with a fake dropout. Because they had like
that's gonna be like part of the anti-drop like for K-pop music. Mm-hmm. It's gonna be like a good contender of it.
I think it's my favorite anti-drop as of late because like when the boys did the anti-drop in Thrill Ride, like I was like, okay, it just felt a little more one note to me. Like
yeah,
this one has a little more dynamic to it. There's a little bit more dynamic to this one.
Yeah, and there's got a lot of like beats that like just drop, well not drop, but like some beats that feels like really staccato. right? Because whenever you like you'd expect like to have like the build up, right? And then when it gets to the chorus, they will like drop, right? But they kind of like silent for a bit, and they go for like a little the beat like do 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 like in the percussion. So it's like okay, it's like throws you off the edge, but it's like you're going for like a roller coaster ride with this song.
Yeah, it's just like a little bit because it's really teasing you for like it wants you to like expect that drop, but it never really happens. So it's just perpetually kind of keeping you on edge. And I really liked it, especially with the subject matter of it, because it's like I feel like why do I feel like this is Elast's version of Wolf from EXO?
Okay, because this is like a very simple, and this is like a done before concept of like boy groups who is like embracing their dark side, like their animalistic instincts. So like we've seen it before. Okay, like with Stray Kids, with EXO, like twice with Wolf, and then even like the thing that it reminded me of the most was EXO's Obsession era, where they have like their evil like counterparts, like their evil clones, and they have like this really dark and very like not gothic, but like very like the heavy makeover from like some of like the members from there. So it kind of reminds me from that, because even one of the members, I'm not familiar with their names yet, has had like this crop top is like so similar to Kai's crop top in Obsession. Like the jacket with like the crop top.
Is that the leader? Because like I remember seeing the comeback photos, and that might be the leader to
maybe. Yeah.
Because I remember one of my friends was posting. I think that's Rano, the leader. I know a couple of them had crop tops. I know Rano had a crop top, and I was like, people stop showing me that dang picture. Stop! I cannot. I literally cannot. Because like. Yeah, some of the comeback outfits in this one, my God. Hi. It's like, hi, Elast, how are you? It's like, please don't take me down this hellhole. L Rings, what are you dragging me into? L Rings is their fandom name. For those of you wondering. Yeah. L Rings are their fandom name. But yeah, it's I guess when you say Obsession era, like that makes so much sense to me in my head. Like it makes so much sense. And yeah, I mean, I think there's something kind of still missing from it though. It still feels a little empty to me because there's a lot of like open space to it, if that makes any sense. Like there's something that could be put in there to kind of fill it out a little bit more, because then I think it would be an amazing song and like one to really put them on the map.
No, I think like the one really like concerned me the most, because like it's like as I said, like it's been done before by other groups previous to them. So I was just really worried it's gonna be like like the minute like run of the mill type of like dark concept from Elast. So that's what really was like kind of like like kind of worried, like okay, like seen this before, seen this like the crop top like in the attires before. But I think it really helped. I think the chorus, I guess, like really puts like a more distinctive spot to like their song.
Yeah, I think it helps kind of distinguish it a little bit from other of those like kind of like darker concepts we've seen from boy groups, especially when they're dealing with the quote unquote animalistic side of things. But yeah, like I said, it's just there's one or two elements missing from it to just make it like that, like one song to really put them on the map. Like they're so close to being there, I feel like. And I don't know if it's just their production crew, like, because like I said, this is a new company. This is, their first group out of this new company. Like they're still trying to sort things out. Like there's just something there that's just missing. So, but I mean, from what I've seen from them, what I've heard from them, like I do actually enjoy quite a bit of their stuff. Like there is some good in this group. Like they do warrant a check, I think, to people. Like they really, really do warrant a check for like taking a look and stuff like that. I really like Dark Dream. I really like Dangerous from last year. Those are some really good title tracks from them, as well as some of their B-sides too are really, really good. As well. So that I've enjoyed. I don't know if there's any B-sides off of this one that you enjoyed.
Mine would be Poison, Desire, and Nightmare. They have, or I guess with the first two that I just mentioned, Poison and Desire, that they have like a very like similar, I guess, like music style or like the genre. This is another group that really is very great with their consistency of like their album, and it has like a certain theme to it that would make sense. And I like how I think how I interpreted how I interpret this album is like, again, like letting go of your like letting your feral instincts like come into like into the front, and having that like that tempting like notion like with the suggestive music and the appearance really works well with like the EDM and like the really dance club type of like beat that they put with like Poison and Desire. I really love that I can like really get and understood the concept of it. And another B-side was Nightmare that I mentioned. It's like it's not as like as fast as like the first two, but it's a very like slowed down, and I think the vocals and the rap exchanges some go hand in hand together, because you know how like there's some complaints about like, oh, like the rap doesn't like really fit in with like the vocalizations and all that, but I think this one, like how they like switch like turns, it really put well together. Like it's put into like one structural uniform, and even the chorus really hit well with like a very dramatic type of like feeling into it.
Yeah, no, I really like Desire. What you said about Desire, that's one of those standout tracks to me. I really like the intro track. Again, I'm a sucker for like a really good intro track.
Oh yeah,
like, atmospheric. This one does a really, really good job about getting it like ready. It almost feels like an overture, getting you ready for like a huge, like a fantasy epic.
It sounded like you could hear that from a Final Fantasy game or Kingdom Hearts. That's what I was thinking. Like, am I like listening to Final Fantasy music right now?
Yeah, it really brings like the like overture, like musical, like soundtrack kind of esque quality to it, and I think it's a great way to get you submerged into this album, especially because like it said, this album does deal a lot with like the connective tissue of the album is really kind of like embracing the more darker animalistic sides of you, which I think is a great thing that there's this, because sometimes with like albums like these, I feel like sometimes they just worry about that for the title track, and then the rest of the album they couldn't care less of like what the theme is. This I think was at least a nice through line throughout, so they really at least cared about that with the album, which I appreciate. I guess another soundtrack for me is Shelter. It's a little bit of a slower song. There's something really kind of a longing quality to it with the lyrics and the musicality of it. Kind of like this like hopeless romantic song too, in a way. If not gonna lie, it's gonna serve as a fic inspiration song. It's gonna go on my fic inspiration playlist very, very quickly here. So but yeah, I think they warrant a look. There's pieces there, like, and I think they're so close to, I think, just getting all that connective tissue together and just being that like a really like none like really blowing people away. So they're super close. What was unfortunate for them though, and this is my other like, kind of like news story, I guess, to go with our album reviews, was that right in the midst of them dropping their album, so they dropped their album on 4/27, their YouTube profile got hacked on April 30th. So because all of a sudden they just had people, like random videos or random streams were happening from their YouTube that wasn't from them. And so because of that, YouTube had to shut down their channel while they got that all cleaned up. And the unfortunate thing for them, especially when a music video first comes out for K-pop, is that you really need those music video reviews, because those are really, really crucial and beneficial for music shows, for the voting, and to be in contention for potential, engagement and voting for these music shows. So I think they lost a good day or two, unfortunately, because of the YouTube hack on that. So their video kind of got, so unfortunately the people who were working on trying to stream, I know L-Range, who were trying to get, stream the video and stuff, unfortunately couldn't really, they lost a couple days because of this. So yeah, it's kind of an unfortunate thing. And again, this is not the first time that a K-pop channel has gotten hacked. I know there was one earlier, I don't know if it was like last year, I think it was last year, that the group Ace had their YouTube channel hacked. And then the same thing happened, where their channel got taken down for a day while YouTube figured it out, and then they got it back up online with all the hacked videos and stuff were gone. So I don't know why they have to go after all these small groups, these small company groups.
Yeah, I don't know, like what's like their purpose of like, what do you have to gain from like just like going after like these such as innocent K-pop groups?
I know. Like they're just trying to like get out there and like trying to promote their stuff. Like they didn't do anything to you. Like what are you doing? So it was an unfortunate thing to like see, especially like a couple days after their album dropped, because like I said, those YouTube video reviews are really, really beneficial, really crucial for them in the long run. So but I know, like, I think as of right now, it's like just under 10 million views, I think, for the music video. So in about 2 weeks. So that's not terrible. I mean, it's a little, like I said, they're starting to get noticed, but they're still quite they're still kind of undervalued, I think, a little bit, but they're starting to get looks. So they're slowly growing their fan base, which is good to see. So yeah, their fan base is slowly growing.
Hello, everybody tuning in to the Noonas podcast. Andrew here, back again with another, reaction, of course. We have Elast mini album Roar. Now, I'm not very familiar with this group, of course, as I'm not familiar with the rest of them. So we get right into it, into the intro track, number 1. Ooh, those violins in the intro track. Oh man, it's so epic. Everything is like crazy. There's all this instrumentation going on. We got the drums too. We got a piano going on. Even hell, a choir in the second half. I'm like, Jesus Christ, man, this is fucking epic. Man, I can't praise that one enough. It's a great intro. And then we get into track 2, Creature, and gotta say, damn, like the vocals from this group. Oh, so beautiful. I love it so much. The little snap, though, clap drum thing. I don't know what it's called, really. But I'm assuming it's like a drum. Oh, my God. Like, I'm tapping to the beat. It's fucking really good. And the build up to, like, the drop. It's so well done. Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. Track number 3, Poison. Now, the vocals, obviously, great. How much can I repeat that, of course? The beat, the instrumental, everything about that. It's great. I love the electronic, like, instrumentation going on. And I gotta be honest, like I have been on these past reactions. This just fucking makes me want to dance. And of course, I do love the hook. This right here, Poison, one of my favorites right here, for sure. Track number 4, Desire. And I see the dance vibes are not gonna stop, because I'm just like fucking bouncing along, like kind of dancing, honestly. I'm loving it. The group sounds amazing. I'm fucking like dancing in my fucking chair. Like no joke, man. The beats to these just fucking literally immediately are so immaculate, and they just make me want to fucking dance right away, dude. Fucking Desire, one of my favorites. I don't know why I was so aggressive with that. Fucking Desire. I hope you desire this album. Number 5, Shelter. Man, I love how this is like, what I love about this like slower song here that we get, this like slow jam type of song, is it kind of starts off a little slow, and then we get this subtle build up, throughout the track. Kind of like speeds up a little and then slows back down as we get this nice little slow jam. And the guitar going on in the background. Oh, man. And come on. I'm going to say it. They sound amazing, of course. Definitely, personally, one of my favorites for sure. And I'm just going to keep saying that. Just so you know. Let Me Free. Oh, dude, the piano on this is so beautiful. And of course, the group sounds amazing. I love their vocals on this one. I am totally, when this track is on, I am floating on a cloud as the violin and the piano are playing and they're singing. Oh my God. It is amazing. Literally, I kid you not, 10 out of 10, one of my favorite tracks, for sure. Track number 7, Nightmare. The production on this one, chef kiss, dude. I'm telling you, no joke, dude. It's amazing. And the mix of singing and rapping. Oh, dude. I'm telling you, this group, I'm blown away, dude. I mean, like everything, like the beat on this song, the hook is really good. And they have something about a guitar, man. Something about a guitar. I don't know, man. Could be a bass. I apologize if it is. Title did not have any credits on this album like some of the past ones, so I apologize if I get the instrumentation wrong, but I do believe that is a guitar in the background. But yeah, dude, whatever instrument it fucking is, it sounds fucking amazing. And now we're getting to the point of, I've been praising this album so far. Do I give it a 10 out of 10 like the last album? And you know, it's hard objectively for me to think of anything bad to say about this record, because this group is really talented. Man, I'm wrestling with it. Fuck it. I'll give it a 10 out of 10. It was amazing on the first listen. I loved it. Loved it, loved it, loved it. That's my reaction to this album. And I will see y'all when I am done listening to the next one.
But I guess with that, we'll move on to the next day. We'll move on to a release from 4/28. And this is our other single release of the week. And this is from Moonbyul of Mamamoo. And this is with her new single, technically titled CITT, which also stands for Cheese in the Trap. And I'm not gonna lie, when I wasn't 100% sure like where this was gonna go after seeing like all the teaser videos and stuff from her. Because like the one teaser video I had saw from her was very, very weird and bizarre of like how to like catch a man and stuff. It was very bizarre. It's very, very absurdist. And then the song comes out and it's very, very old school in terms of like pop music. You know, it's very poppy.
You know, it's like I think there's like a lot of like I think like a current theme that we're having in this episode, because a lot of the artists that we'll be talking to or talking about is has like that very 2000s inspired like pop or punk rock theme into their music. So it was like probably have a good title for our episode, like something I think about the 2000s and all that. Because this one is just like what in the I'm really digging the Avril Lavigne 2000s pop rock that Bianca's putting here.
Oh my god, it was very like I was feeling very 2000s Avril, which I'm not gonna lie, like all these like some of these albums releases coming up. I'm sorry, I'm gonna be reliving my like middle school and high school years, so just a warning, you guys. This was fun. This was a fun like bright track, kind of like strong female empowerment in a weird way, because like y'all don't go chasing after men and trying to cut their heads off according to the music video. But
it's like some kind of like Avril Lavigne's Girlfriend, or even like going way back with Blondie's like one way or another, I'm gonna find you, I'm gonna get you. One way.
It's very much in that kind of vein of like the female empowerment in that kind of style.
The stalker female part. No, I'm kidding.
The stalker female genre. Is that a genre? Sure, we're gonna call it a genre. But and then it's juxtaposed with like the brightness of the music, and like almost like feels like the music feels very positive and very uplifting, and then the lyrics have like this like dark tinge to it, so it's like this weird like yin and yang of the lyrics and the music. So it's this like fun, strange song, but it was just really crazy in my mind.
Right.
So I dug it. I really dug it. I think it was fun. It was a really fun single for her, just to, I think, kind of like literally let her hair down and just like have fun and just be silly and kind of goofy.
Yeah.
Honestly.
And it's something like this, like really different from her, I guess her taste, because, we mostly know her as like her rap. She's one of the most versatile rappers and for girl, K-pop girl groups. And I really love like her sounds. Like it has like that really deep bass for like a female vocal range. And because usually I would expect like hip hop or a bit of like a funk with her, with Moonbyul, but I like the more of a pop tension to it, like a more of a punkish side of her.
Yeah, Yeah, it's definitely more in the pop punk kind of vein of the sound, but yeah, it's just fun. It's just fun overall. Very different, obviously, from the B side, My Moon, which is still kind of had those like throwbacky vibes to like the early 2000s, I think, a little bit, but it's more melodic. It's more slowed down.
Yeah, more soft acoustic rock.
Yeah. So, I mean, yeah, this is definitely like throwback vibes. Like I said, back to my high school years, strangely. I'm aging myself again. But yeah, like I said, this one was just a kind of a fun release, like I think for her, just like I said, let her hair down and just go out and have fun with it. Cause it's just like from the marketing to how she promoted it and stuff, like it's a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot of fun, a lot of bizarreness, and I'm here for it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, if you like your pop punk, like listen, we're starting to really get into like the pop punk side of things here this week. But this is a good start to it, I think. So, I really enjoyed it. I really like Cheese in the Trap. It was fun. It was a fun song. Mm-hmm. I can't say much more besides that. It just was fun.
Hello, everybody tuning in to the Noonas podcast. Andrew is back here again and again. He never leaves. He is again here with a new reaction to Moonbyul's Cheese in the Trap, CITT. So right off the bat, the first track, Cheese in the Trap. Holy shit, dude. She just comes out the gate with this fantastic rapping flow. The guitars are just sound immaculate in the background. The beat, dude, I love all the instrumentation going on in the instrumental. Like this beat is really solid. And no, I wasn't gonna say the stereotypical sick beat from Taylor. No, we're not doing that. The hook is really catchy. The production, top tier. Love the production, and absolutely, God love her singing. Great song, dude. Great song. Track number 2, My Moon. What a nice, change of pace here. We get this nice relaxing guitar in the background, the piano, the nice touch. Of course, her vocals are amazing. Yeah, I really vibe with this one. And the rap section of this song, really, really, really good. Just a nice little short reaction, short 2-song album. Really dig this one. Solid 10 out of 10 for me on this one. So I will see you guys here in the next reaction.
I guess then we're going to go on to our biggest release. I think this is probably what our biggest release will be.
I guess I wanted one D because we have like another group that we talked about, but yeah, I wanted to bring the peak. We're reaching our peak here.
I feel like you're definitely reaching one of the peaks here of the episode. And this is the release from 429, and that is from K-pop king Psy with technically his 9th album. This is he named Psy 9th, and yeah, this is his 9th album, period. This man has been making music since 2001. Like, he's been working. But he hasn't had an album drop in 5 years because since that time, he left YG Entertainment, which he was originally signed to. He started his own record label, assigned artists to it, has had that, become, I think, a relatively successful record label as of late. Like, between Jesse's stuff and Hannah and Dawn's music, and even Crush. And, I don't know. I'm apparently being dyslexic right now. Hi. And then Crush also under his label, and like other artists, getting his idol group ready to go. Like, he's been working
TNX.
really hard as this. Yeah, TNX is like literally knocking on the door for debut here. He's been a very busy man. And so, because a lot of the music on this stuff, I think he's been sitting on for a couple of years. Like, he's been working on this like slowly for the last couple of years. Mm-hmm. So, but yeah, this is he's back. And hilariously enough, and I think what caught everybody off on surprise was the title track to this one, which is called That, which is produced and features Suga of BTS. Which,
Yeah, you know what's kind of funny how they promote it, because you know how like he was like putting out like the promotion, like the art promotion art for his like collaborations, right?
Yeah.
But the thing is, like, he at first like put the title track in blank because he wanted to leave it as a surprise. And then when he finally started like showing a bit of like the teasers, and it like he revealed, yes, this is going to be produced by BTS and Suga. And then a couple of days later, he said like produced and featured. So Suga was like he's like for showing up in the music video. So it's kind of like a fun like little build up of his like to build up hype of his title track.
Yeah, and like the title, like even the teasers of the music video too, where it's like the Western kind of setting and stuff, and like because the original teaser didn't even have anything of that in it. I think it was one of the other songs. I think it was You Move Me, the instrumental from You Move Me in it, and then
but he's still wearing like the kind of like because it's still like the Western background. He was wearing some kind of cowboy outfit, but yeah, I was like thinking like, oh, are we gonna have like kind of soft like rock come back and all that? But then he like showed his teaser too. Was like, okay, never mind. That's like a way different music.
Yeah, it was like it caught everyone else surprised, but I'm like, I'm not gonna lie. Suga did it again. Like every time he collabs with an artist, like he knows what that artist does. Like he does a really good job of actually like
studying like artists and like what they
like working with them and like kind of figuring out, you know, what like sounds work, like the whole kind of flow and everything. Like because we've seen that from like his work like with Epic High, with Highs, with Saran. Like he's produced quite a few things on his own outside of BTS, and outside of his own solo work, obviously too, as August D. And yeah, I mean, and I love the inside joke that's been going around with Army too, is that this is like the second time he somehow got roped into, you know, doing something that he was like thought he was not going to be doing in terms of like, because he thought he was just producing this. He didn't think he was actually going to be one singing in it or two starring in the music video of it.
Yeah,
he somehow got roped into both of them.
the side pyramid scheme, the P Nation scheme, but.
Which,
you know what?
I was just gonna say because it's funny because that's apparently how for those in the know, that's how he literally got roped into being into BTS in the first place, because he just went into Big Hit just to become a producer. He never thought he was going to be an idol, guys. He was just really coming to be a producer, and look at him now, producing king. Hello. But go ahead, Jenny.
Yeah, no, like listening to the spaghetti western type of like music that they had in there, it makes me wish that they had that flair with Permission to Dance. I'm sorry, I'm still going on the Permission to Dance slander, but with the spaghetti western like look, and even the music with like the brass horns and all that, like why can't they do that with with BTS? Because like. Okay, it really works with like the celebratory return of like Psy, you know, doing a comeback and all that. So it really goes with that very energetic tone into it. But yeah, they could have done it with BTS. It has like the more energy and like not going for like the generic pop, like Permission to Dance, or like something like really quirky and like kind of witty. But like when it comes to like BTS's like style and humor.
Yeah,
the potential.
Yes, the Permission to Dance slander will still continue on this podcast. Hi.
Yeah, please don't ask me. Like, okay, you guys like the song? Like, okay, like we all have our different tastes, but we all have
our likes and dislikes. And I've been just succumbed to Permission to Dance because I had to listen to it so much when I was in Vegas. Hi.
I know, like
oh my God, yeah. But it's hilarious because like everyone's basically connected. Like this is like this almost like the same AU, because again it's like this like weird like cowboy AU. So it's like the same world technically Permission to Dance is in. That's in as well.
I still need to make a video as like a side just like invades like the Permission to Dance set. Die coming back.
That would be amazing. But yeah, I mean, because like it feels like a lot, like it does feel very similar to like a lot of his like classic stuff. Like besides Gangnam Style, like everybody knows Gangnam Style.
Everybody, the whole world, I think the whole universe knows about Gangnam Style.
Exactly. But like if you listen to nothing else but Gangnam Style from Psy, like you need to go check out some of his other like solo like title tracks. Like I recommend Daddy, Gentleman, God, there's plenty
like
down the line here.
Gangnam Style is like, I think people like heard like Gentleman but wasn't like as invested as Gangnam Style, And so, but I think Daddy is probably my favorite song from him.
Daddy is a classic.
He just sampled from like will.i.am's I got it from my mama. I got it from my mama. But like Psy made it like so hilarious. It's like, where'd you get that body from? I got it from my daddy. I got it from my daddy.
My dad is hilarious and classic, and I love it. But yeah, it doesn't because it's got like the like his like wit and humor to it for a side of the song. Including, like paired with like Suga's like just speedy, rapping quips, like especially
sharp,
with his verse.
Yeah, like a very sharp like spitfire of like a rap, rap line.
Yeah, and the music video doesn't take itself seriously at all. It's such a hoot. Like, I was listening to this album with my boyfriend, and he's like I want this play, like this would be so much fun play like at sporting arenas and stuff. Like it would work so well because it's a great like hype song. Like especially the chorus, like it'd be perfect. So it's a fun song. Like it, like I said, Suga knocked it out of the park with the production on this and just having fun. And like Psy just really coming with the like the quirky, witty humor that he usually likes to put in his music, and it's a bop. It literally is a bop, you guys. Like go watch it, go listen to it. It's great.
Yeah, even like the dance, like I don't know how old Psy is, but just to see his like dance, like it's so like it's like very energetic. It's so almost complex, like because they do this and they even like jump around. They even like they do like the that I like that's like okay, I can't balance myself that much, but that was like. It's pure chaotic, but in a fun way. Yeah,
I was watching some behind the scenes stuff, and like Suga said, like it's like he's like you're doing like an actual idol dance, and like it's like legit choreography to it. And he's been nailing it on the music shows and stuff too with his dancers and everything. Like it's been fun. It's been really fun to watch this comeback. Like, and like I said, I mean, the cool thing too on this album too is not just like the fact he got Suga on this album. He got a lot of people to collab on this album. Like I said, he got everything from fellow P Nation artists like Jessie and Crush to feature on this album. He also got some other friends to help feature, including Hwasa of Mamamoo, his really good friend Sung Si-kun. Also to feature on this album. Tableau from Epic High also features, who's a really good friend of his as well. Like all over the board, there's some like great music all over this album.
What I like here, if I may add, like before going into like the list of our favorite B-sides, I like how there's like a mixture of like very like like the very fast paced, like very energetic type of like pop sounds. That really goes back into, because like some of the songs that kind of like brings me back into like 90s or like 2000s pop in a way. I would like explain further with the B-sides, but even like some of the another like half of like his songs are very like like slowed down. It's like he actually like calms down in some of the songs, and then he has like a very natural like vocals, not as like the power R&B vocals, but whenever he sings, it feels like so down to earth and like really genuine. Like it's like something like really presents like a charismatic, likable energy with Psy, which makes it like so like why so many people wanted to collab with him in this album.
Yeah,
so that's how I feel about like a lot of the songs there.
I too. No, I feel very much similar way. Like the stuff when he slows down, like there's this nice like moments to breathe. And to like bring you down from like the more hype tracks on the album. There's these nice moments to breathe that really kind of slow down the album in a nice way to kind of just like let you catch your breath a little bit before you go back into like you wanted to be in the dancing, fun party mood. And it's like it's a good push and pull of that throughout this album. Like it's the album starts out super hype already with the beginning 9 intro.
That intro, it really goes to like it really sets up like his, because you can know his personality is like very quirky and weird with his humor, and you can like kind of just get the vibe from like the intro.
Yeah,
introduction. Introduction.
Yeah, like you like from the introduction, like you're geared up and you're ready to go and like understanding what you're about to get yourself involved with this album, and then it goes right into that and it just, I think it works perfectly well. And then like Dick said, there's good pushes and pulls. Like, you know, some of the slower stuff, like "You Move Me," which is the one featuring his friend Sung Si Kun, which felt like a little trotty, you know, like a little bit like on the trot side of things.
Yeah.
But it's really, really elevated up with Psy's rapping. Because Psy's rap is like very iconic and very unique to him, the way he raps and the way he does his hip hop. It's a little bit more sing-songy, I think, for his rap style.
Yeah.
So, you know, compared with the trot kind of style, it's a good breather of a song, and it's like, it's great kind of break because it just brings down a little bit before we get hyped up again for some of the next songs coming up. Like Ganji, which features Jessie, which is Jessie basically doing her best Nicki Minaj impression on that track. Apparently I found out Ganji like was like one of the last things he put on the album, because like I think it's just like, I was watching, which sadly was the last episode of Jessie's show to review. She's unless there's gonna be a season 2 coming, but it sounds like Jessie's wrapping that up for Jessie was ending that. Which girls gotta take a break. I understand. Girls have been working hard.
Right.
But apparently, because Psy was on the episode and they were talking, and yeah, like he came to her and they just basically like got together in a couple days. It's like right before the album came out. So like it was like one of the last things to go on the album, but he wanted to have Jessie on the album, and they put out this one, and it's amazing. I like it. I really, really like it.
Yeah, one of my favorite songs from Psy's album, because it really gets into like a very like, you know, pumped up, and I think if you want to work out, you can like listen to that.
Mm-hmm. I also really liked the more like super retro. This one's a little bit more, so you talked a lot of it being like very 90s, 2000s. This one felt very 70s with Now, which is featuring Kwasa.
Oh, I for me, it felt like a very like 80s power pop, like, you know, like She's a Maniac, like that type of like that sound. And She's a Maniac, and with like the very like energetic dun, 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 with that the music.
Yeah, and it just really works too, because Kwasa's like lower range complements Psy's vocals really, really well. Like their ranges super complement one another.
An unlikely duo, but you appreciate like, you know, like they're working together.
Yeah, it's a great power ballad. Like, yeah, as you said, 80s power ballad. I don't know why I thought 70s, 80s. It should be 80s. I misspoke. And then I guess one of my other standout tracks was towards the end. It's Every Day, which brings it more back to like 2000s, because it reminded me a lot of like early 2000s EDM, like David Guetta. This is the standard 2000s, like, or again late 2000s, like with David Guetta, or even like what Dead Mouse, or like those other like those DJs that builds up like crescendos into like into the pre-chorus, and then like it goes, you know, drops like a really heavy bass at the chorus. It's just that took me back. I know. I was like, I'm living my, like I said, I'm living back into my high school days there. You know, it's like high school like EDM days there. And it's like I said, there's just a lot of fun stuff throughout this album. Is there any other B-sides that you really enjoyed?
Yeah, I mean, I think you pretty much like took, or not took, but you pretty much have like the ones that I have in mind. I would also say Celeb, because it has like that very 90s Euro pop like mood into it. It feels like like it's like sounds very nostalgic and very feel good. I don't know if you also like said, or I don't know if you mentioned about like Forever featuring Tableau. I really love the guitar reverbs, that it makes it so soothing, and even like has like the very nice like contemplative introspective tone of the song that, you know, is trying to convey. And it feels like you would like listen to that when the sun's setting, and like you can like reflecting. It's like you're spending time like into yourself, just reflecting the time you spent today. That type of feel.
And it's great because it's like towards the end of the album. It's a great way to kind of like slow the album down and kind of wrap things up, you know, kind of get to the tail end of things. And I mean, and that's the great thing, because like I said, I think with Tableau, because Tableau has been really good right now, really recently, with his like more introspective stuff as of late. And like this is just a great continuation of that. And then like Psy complementing that too, like more of introspective look on his stuff too. So there's great synergy there. yeah, this is honestly, this album I think is in contention for one of the best of the year. Honestly, for me,
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I'm probably considering it too.
it's a fantastic listen. Definitely high up in like one of the best K-pop albums of the year currently. So highly, highly recommend you guys check this out. If you don't check out if you at least don't check out that, check out the rest. Please check out that.
Yeah, and I'm excited to like hear what Andrew said, because I think I've heard what he said on Facebook. Yeah, but I'm pretty excited to see what he likes or what he likes in the album too.
Yeah, hopefully we'll take it to Andrew and see what he has to say. So
hello, everybody tuning in to the Noonas podcast. Andrew here, back again with another reaction. We now are on Psy 9th. It's his great return to the music. Great return with this new album. So let's just get right into it. Track number 1, Nitro? 9 intro? Because it's literally 9 intro. Not really sure how I'm supposed to say that one, but Psy starts off right out the gate with this fantastic intro. Lots of fun energy in his flow. A really good beat, a really catchy hook, just kind of pulling you in the intro. Just, kind of bam, right off the gate, setting the tone for the rest of this album. Track number 2, that produced and featuring Suga of BTS. So this is the lead single off this album. It's considered his comeback record, millions of views on YouTube and all that stuff. Psy comes in with this fantastic flow, it's like oozing with energy, and it's a really good hook with that like cool little beat. For sure. Suga did a really good job producing this track, by the way, and yeah, of course he kills it. Moving on though, because it's a great song, but moving on. Track number 3, Celeb. Can you tell that I'm going to say I love the melody on this one? On track 3, Celeb. I was about to say celebrity, it's Celeb. Of course, Psy continues his fantastic energy throughout this album into this track. The hook is really catchy. Melody's great. Beat's great. Everything's great about this song. So yeah. Track number 4, You Move Me, featuring Shang Si Kyung. I hope I said that right. I tried to say that right. Psy, kind of slows things down with this nice little ballad. And things are slowing down. He's singing. He's got this nice little melodic flow going on with the rapping. Everything's nice. The feature kills it. I love his vocals. It's amazing. Just an all-around good song that I absolutely love. It's great. Love it. Track number 5, Sleepless, featuring Hazy. Hazy. I would hope that that's how you say it, right? Maybe Haze. One of those two. I'm not sure which variation it is. Right off the bat, Haze's vocals are really good. They're just, quite frankly, amazing, honestly. And Psy comes out here, with this great flow, and he's like effortlessly, just riding the beat, and there's this guitar in the background. Yeah, I could just tell that, clearly this track is personal to Psy because of the, it's the tone in his voice. It's the emotion he is conveying, in his tone. I could tell that, this is a genuine song for sure. Track number 6, Ganji, featuring Jesse. This is I'll tell you what, it's a straight up banger. Literally. It comes in with this I'm doing a terrible job of recreating the beat, but you get the picture. Comes in with this awesome beat, Psy is just straight up flowing and rapping, and the beat switch up a couple times. It's really cool. Jesse kills it on his feature as well, and it's just a really catchy tune there. I really enjoy that one actually. It was kind of threw me for a loop, with the last song. I'm like, okay, all right, so you're surprising me out here. Track number 7, now featuring Hi Saw, and this is a I believe it's actually pronounced Hwai Sa. I hope that's correct. So Psy takes us to the 80s with this one. As we have this crazy synthesizer going on, and the feature, Hwai Sa is like fucking killing it, by the way, and they're singing together, and Psy is just like it kind of feels like, I don't want to say he was stealing from The Weeknd's After Hours, but it feels slightly inspired from that kind of music. But then we could get into the debate that, well, that's inspired by something else. And I'm sure Psy was inspired by just music in general. But that's something I can correlate it to. And it's just this like crazy song that you're not expecting because of the last one. You're like, what? Wait, what? What the fuck is going on? But yeah, it's a great song for sure. Track number 8, Happier featuring Crush. So Psy just keeps this energy going. Quite frankly, the rest of the album, I'll kind of spoil it for you. And we're given this track full of emotion, a great feature from Crush, just an all-around great song for sure. Track number 9, Hello Monday. Psy, he brings his melodic flow into this one. We got the nice piano in the background, and of course, Psy sounds great on the hook. And this is a nice little track that I can tell by some of the lyrics, that are, I haven't really addressed this throughout a lot of these reactions, but I can tell with certain words that he's saying in English in this track, that this is supposed to be like an inspirational track to be like, hey, grind, you can do this too and stuff like that. It's just context clues I can understand, obviously with the enunciation of how he's saying certain words and all that stuff. So yeah, for sure. It's a great song. I like that one a lot. Track number 10, Every Day. Whoa, wowzers. I love the electronic sound on this one, by the way. The build up to the beat and the breakdown. The drop is what I should say. I really gotta say though, I appreciate the emotion that Psy puts into this one for sure. I vibe with all the work he puts into his vocals throughout this whole album. Quite frankly, I gotta be honest, he really impressed me. I've never sat down and listened to a Psy record, and now I'm really invested on wanting to legitimately check out the rest of his discography if it's even remotely this good for sure. Track number 11, Forever, featuring Tanyao. That sounds right, but that probably is wrong. I can tell this is a personal song for Psy because we get this nice stripped back emotional, it's just holy shit, everything's kind of somber and getting a little sad here. And I can tell just context clues that this is a personal track. And I gotta admit, I do appreciate that Psy is willing to get vulnerable with his audience, because I think that's the beauty of music in general, is when you can get personal and honest with your audience for sure. Yeah, dude, it's just a great track. I love that one in general. Track number 12, Dear Me. What a great track in general. I really love the way he closes out this album for sure. He's shown me that, he can have, he's not just a one-trick pony. He can make a fantastic, album from beginning to end. This energy that's present from the beginning is present here at the end, as he's kind of closing everything out. We got that slight electronic edge to it in this track, just a little bit present. and the guitars in the background and everything is closing, and it's a great album. I think this closes everything pretty well, and I had previously reviewed this on my Facebook, and I think I gave it a 9 out of 10. And I think I would say it's a 9.5 out of 10. I would up the score because I've sat down and re-listened to this one, and I would say it's a 9.5 out of 10. It's pretty good. I would definitely check this one out for sure. So yeah, Andrew says check it out, and I will be back with another reaction after I listen to this next EP.
Thank you, Andrew, for your review on that. Don't know what he said because we're recording this separately.
Thank you, Andrew.
I'm more worried about some of the other stuff like we talked about this week, but they'll be very interesting to see. Again, I want to get them on the episode when schedules work out. Hopefully the work slows down. But well, we're getting past the peak here. We're on the other side of our peak here. So let's try to get through the rest of these.
Go to the second peak of the mountain.
Yeah, we're getting there, guys. Onto our next album release, which is our debut of the week for this episode. This dropped on 5/2, and this is again the new girl group from Source Entertainment, which is again under the Hybe company the Hybe umbrella, the Hybe label. And that's Les Sserafim with their debut album Fearless, also the same name of the title track on the album.
Oh yeah, and fun fact before we get into the album, but fun fact about the name choice of Les Sserafim. If you guys know about like your angels, if you guys you may not have to be Christian to like learn about this, but if you're like, really interested in the angel lore, the Seraphim are like one of the highest like ranking angels under God's heaven. So like they're the one like closest to God's like throne, and like they're the ones like encircling his throne with like this really flaming type of like aura that they emit, and all they they always like chant like holy, holy, holy around God. So that's like they're one of the highest forms of angels in heaven, when Christianity's heaven. And even like how they're depicted is like they have like 6 wings. Mm-hmm. They have 6 wings, which makes sense with with the composition or the assembly of Les Sserafim, because there are 6 members. Oh yeah, and it's also like kind of clever too, since like their slogan, I guess, even their debut title is like "I'm fearless," so it's like an anagram type of like thing where you can like go like mix up like Les Sserafim, and it has like "I'm fearless" in it, so it's like a really good like clever word choice in there, and like the meaning behind Seraphim.
Yeah, it basically, the Les Sserafim, the way it's spelled, even though, because it's not spelled this correct way you would spell like Seraphim. Seraph. Yeah, there's a PH in there, but the way they have it spelled, it literally is an anagram for "I'm fearless." So, just a little knowledge in the group. But yeah, this is their group. So it's kind of interesting because it's a combination of some members who have been like other different groups and stuff. For example, Sakura, Chaewon, and Yujin were in Produce 48, which is the girls' version of the Produce 101 series. Or I think Produce 48 might have been the Japanese version of that show. And then actually Sakura and Chaewon, the Produce 48 was the show in Korea, because that was the show that we got Iteawon from. Because Sakura and Chaewon were part of Iteawon and are now part of Les Sserafim.
It's pretty cool because because after Iteawon disbanded, we have like members like probably like the one that they branched out into like IVE, and now we have like another group from like that has like consisted of Iteawon members in the Seraphim. So it's like the children of Iteawon, so like IVE and the Seraphim. Pretty sweet.
Yeah, like they're all kind of branching out and doing like their post Iteawon careers here. So yeah, so this is 2 of the members of Iteawon in it, with, like I said, with Sakura and with Chaewon being part of the group. So and I will say that also, like I said, Yoonjin was also part of was part of Produce 48, but she finished 26th and she was eliminated before the final episodes, so she didn't quite make it to the final. But it's good to see her finally debuting actually.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, it is. So with their new song, with their debut, Fearless. I actually kind of want to hear what you have to say first, Ginny, because I don't know if I'm going to have the same feelings as you, because I know you were kind of going all off on Facebook with this one.
Yeah, no, because I have a lot of like mixed, I guess, a mixed reaction with listening to the not the music itself, but the video. I guess I think I have a lot more to say, but going with the music, you know how we usually have like girl groups like wanting to make a big splash onto the industry and have like a very like a memorable impression by putting a lot of loud and bombastic type of like music to debut in. So it's like an example like Blackpink's Boombaya or aespa's Black Mamba. But with the Sserafim, it like threw me off like into like a complete opposite direction, and they decided to go for a more pulled back, like minimalist type of music style to enter in. So I really like appreciate like a very different approach to debut in, and I guess like to help like really make a more memorable debut, so you won't get like too forget like the music, but you can also draw focus on like the video and the performance itself. A lot of good harmonization on all sides of the production. Some of the drawbacks that I have, like I appreciate like the music and how it sounds, but I think the drawbacks that I have with is like the song can be like a bit monotonous or monotonous and like repetitive at the same time. And there's not that much diversity with like the song arrangements, and so it's like a mixture of like there needs to be like a mixture of like a high energetic portion, so it makes like the song more dimensional. Like the verse and the chorus like are in the same like mid-range pitch, and with the vocals, so it's like not much like like good like vocal range in there. The only difference was like the crescendoing pre-chorus, but like that's pretty much it. Like they didn't add anything else from the verses. Even like the lyrics too can be like too repetitious and it's almost like simplistic, but I think it's like almost appealing for like the Western audiences who wanted the more like a simplistic approach with like a song. So I think they would like get more, be more into it, I guess. So that's pretty much what I have. But overall, I think it's a fine debut. I think I prefer more of like their B-sides more than like the title track. Because I think like the ones that I have like for the drawbacks and my criticisms, like they delivered that in their other B-sides. So I was like, okay, at least I have those. So I really enjoyed those more.
Yeah, like the one thing I noticed with their debut with Fearless was like it was understated but strong in a weird way. If that makes any sense to anybody, because like
it's a cool paradox.
It's a paradoxical statement, but it is along those lines of like we've had some amazing girl group debuts as of late, like with Kep1er and with IVE. We've had some insane comebacks with like Purple Kiss and with Dreamcatcher as of late, like really knocking our socks off. And like the girl group market right now is like really really high like level, and so with a track like this, it just kind of left me like it's staying like a meh status, because and I thought the exact same thing too. Like it definitely had more appeal for like Western audiences than it did for like a domestic Korean audience. Like it felt like they were really trying to cater to like more like the foreign fans.
In a way, like the Hybe's memo right now. It's like they're really like going for like the Western audience right now.
Yeah, that seems to be Hybe's, and I wonder if that's part of it has to be with their acquisition, because of Scooter Braun, part of the Hybe label now, with his his record label and stuff, and being part of the board of directors. Because there's something Euro disco to it, with the hip hop, but it's just there's something lacking in it that they could like say it would be like a great debut. It's just kind of, it's okay. It's not like holy crap, like yes, like Sserafim, yes. Especially like how I was with like IVE and how I was with Kep1er, how I really enjoyed those debuts, and how I've enjoyed even the first official comeback with IVE too. Like I'm really digging what's coming with IVE as a new girl group. This like it's just kind of like wanting me to have more. Not to say the B-sides, like the B-sides do, they give you a little bit more, but I guess I just still want a little bit more.
I guess, yeah. I could, because I think Blue Flame, I think that would have been like a great like impression for the Sserafim, because it really like sounds like you get like the very like the high vocalizations, or like falsettos, or even like the more energetic beat into it. It kind of reminds me of like a South American Boy for some reason. Even like the singing style, or like how it's sung, it's like reminds me of like American Boy, like it's like it has it in Blue Flame. It's like, okay, like I don't know if it was intentional, but I was like really enjoyed that. Even the Great Mermaid is like more of like a noise like music for Le Sserafim.
Yeah, like I wanted to like the Great Mermaid, but like I felt like it was a little overproduced in my mind. Like, and me again, me who likes noise, thought this was a tad bit overproduced, because it's just a little harsh, because it's just a little too much happening. Sometimes like with good noise music, like you can kind of at least piece together like the different parts that they're mashing together and be able to suss that all out. And this just was an amalgamation of like everything coming at you, and it's just it felt like a little bit of like auditory overload to me.
Yeah.
I did kind of like the intro, The World Is My Oyster. I kind of like the fact they're doing the 3 different languages, because they had English, Japanese, and Korean on it, and it's this weird trippy Euro clubby track. The kind of
it's something that you would like. That would be great for you to like do a runway, model walk. Like that is like that is like a great thing to like you to play during a runway model.
Yeah, like it's like the intro to like your runway fall look, your collection, like to like establish yourself, like especially if it's like a girl, like a woman's like fall fashion lineup or something. Like that would be
it's pretty much pretty much the style with Le Sserafim, because I do notice like their style, or how like the way like they're presented. It's like very like you're like doing like a modeling brand. Even Le Sserafim sounds like some kind of perfume brand that they're doing, and like having them in like very like these sleek outfits and all that, in like a very like stark monochromatic. It's very very striking for them.
Yeah. It is a very striking look. And I mean, and there's been a tiny bit of controversy too with their choreography with Fearless.
Yeah, now keep in mind when I was watching the video, I was like, wait, how old are they? And after that, I looked at like their age years, and like most of them are in their 2000s. The youngest being for 2006, and to have them like dance in like a very very suggestive type of like choreography in the music video, like. Wait a minute! Like, we're going in the fine line here. That's why I even like put in the Facebook, like, keep in mind they're freaking young. They're a very young group, so like be careful and you're thirsting unless you're in the same age range as them. So like,
unless you want to end up on a watch list. Yeah, because there's some moves that were definitely a little bit more adult, that people are wondering, like, should a 16-year-old really, 15, 16-year-old really should be doing this kind of move? Mostly it was, and they've modified the choreography since then. People have noticed, but it did cause a little bit of buzz. Around K-pop
they call it the swallow dance, because like they have this one part, because I think it happened in Jason Derulo's video, because it has like the girls on the ground and like putting their butts up and like being in sync, and it's like, I don't know how to describe it, but yeah, it's like really like they're having like humping in the air or humping on the ground type of like performance.
That's the best way you could put it, I guess, without actually seeing it. But yeah, the swallow dance. The
swallow dance, people are saying it.
Yeah, so they did modify that at least. So, but after some minor backlash on that with people, especially with ages of the members, but. Yeah. I mean, like I said, it's been really tough competition as of late with the girl groups. So for me, like this one just kind of falls on the wayside right now for me, because I've had such amazing, debuts, especially like I said, with IVE and with Kepler, like that have blown me away and that are like staying on my radar as of late. So yeah, this one just kind of falls on the wayside as of right now. Like, I'll be curious to see what they do coming up and see if they can kind of potentially fix things, like where they're going to go from here. But it's just kind of an debut for me.
Yeah, at least they, like they got their first win because I think that a lot of people are, like, hyping them up. So because there's like they're the first. Keep in mind they're like the first girl group to be debuting under Hive. Okay, I know they're like under Source Entertainment, so like they are surpassing or like taking up the mantle from G Friend and are now like disbanded. So at least we got that, and at least something produced under Hive that people are getting like really like excited for because like, oh, it's the first new girl group under Hive. And
I just read actually they got their second win today.
Okay.
So they're starting to get their wins with Fearless. So because they've came out with a pretty high level debut, so they are getting wins, and they're like the second fastest girl group I think to get wins. Behind, I think, Blackpink, potentially. I can't remember the number one. I think the first one's Blackpink. But they're like number 2, according to records. So,
hello, everybody tuning in to the Noonas podcast. Andrew here, back again with another music reaction. We now have the Sserafim Fearless EP. They are the newest girl group to debut under BTS's music label, Hibble, I believe is how you say it. They are one of the fewest people in history to be on BTS's music label. Apparently they have, according to Jenny's notes here, they have had a history of a difficult time managing girl groups on their music label. They are one of the youngest groups out there as of right now as well. So like, that's cool to know. And we'll just get right into the music here. Track number 1, The World is My Oyster. Apologies there for messing up, folks. Right off the bat, this track is booming with like this epic electronic sound. I love how it feels like this epic, like crazy intro. The beat is kind of reminiscent of like something, I guess I would say I would hear in like Tron Legacy, which, depending on how you feel about that movie, you might think that sounds lame or not. I think that in some ways, I'm not going to get into a rant about Tron Legacy, by the way. I'm not going to do that. But like what I'm trying to basically say is, I feel like it's kind of like neon, like, that's how it sounds. And obviously, the group is killing it in this track. So yeah. Track number 2, Fearless. Straight out the gate, this group all flows amazingly together with their vocal range. They sound fantastic. The instrumentation is great. The bass in the background is a very nice touch. And I should note that the drums throughout this track are the icing on the cake. Track number 3, Blue Flame. I absolutely adore the keyboard at the beginning on this track. It's a very nice touch. The slapping bass, literally somebody slapping a bass in this track is freaking fantastic. I love it. Of course, I love the group's vocals, so on and so on. Track number 4, The Great Mermaid. So right off the bat, I absolutely adore the synthesizer on this track. I cannot emphasize enough how much I love that. And I absolutely also love the drums on this. They have a knack for like really good like usage of drums. They clearly, utilize drums very much throughout this like EP. And of course, I'm gonna say it, they sound great. And then our nice little closer track. Yeah, we're already done here. Track number 5, Sour Grapes. It's a nice little, compared to the rest of the tracks on here, it's a little more stripped back, but there's still a nice little, little build up and like breakdown and, to the hook and all that stuff. The guitar in the background is very, very, very well done. Just an all around good track. So yeah, it was a nice little short EP. I would give it a solid 9.5 out of 10 for sure on the Andrew scale, which I don't really have a rating scale, but yeah, I'd give it a 9.5 out of 10. And yeah, that's my rating for this album, or EP, I should say. And I will see y'all on the next music reaction.
But with that, let's move on to our third to last. We're getting close, guys. We're getting there. But on to our next review from May 3rd from 5-3. And this has been a long awaited comeback for me because finally the six facta is complete from the groups from Kingdom Legendary War. iKon has finally had a legit comeback with their new mini album Flashback. Finally, the sixth and final group from Kingdom Legendary War that can say they finally had a comeback, while every other group has had at least 2 comebacks as of late, and one literally has a comeback coming next week. So yeah, it took a while for them to kind of claw their way out of YG's dungeon, but they're back with a new one with their title track But You. And I will say this, like, I was not expecting 80s synth iKon.
Yeah, it's something like you would probably hear in like a school prom dance. Because it really sounds like, it really fits with that type of setting or atmosphere. And it's something really like something is a refreshing sight to hear from iKon, especially to be produced under YG, where they do a lot of like the really hard edge hip hop, with like they do with with Treasure or even Blackpink. But yeah, with this one, I really love like the a bit of a hip hop genre, but more blended with like a dreamscape aspect, with some of the more retro pop sounds, and even what makes sense because of their title. Their title of their album is like Flashback.
Right, it does. Like, there was something really kind of fun and refreshing, like from because it still sounds like iKon, like it still sounds like their sound and their style, but it's because it still has that same kind of structure like a YG song does, but it has. Yeah, it's very dominated by like that dreamscape 80s synth all the way throughout. It's probably more in the line of like a song of theirs, kind of like Love Scenario or like Killing Me More. It's more of a love song in a way, but it's still kind of got like that, more kind of heartbreaking love song in a way that they do very, very well. And it was fun to hear from them because like, I haven't heard this kind of thing from them for a while. And like, because Bobby's the one who's really taken over as like the majority of the like writing for them. Obviously since BI left the group unfairly, might I add. But he did a really good job kind of with it's like really like this flashback kind of style, this throwback style. I think it was really complementary to their strengths as a group. So even Bobby's rap, like, kind of fit well because sometimes I would like you'd be worried in something like this, like a rap like part wouldn't work, but it kind of worked because he kind of made it a little more sing-songy melodic than his more kind of more guttural, in your face rap style that he can do. That he's more like spitting fire at you.
One minute, son. Sorry to bring that back to you, Jenny.
Yeah, thank you. But he managed to make it work, and I really enjoyed it. I really, really enjoyed the title track on this one. Music video is very nostalgic too, in a way. So,
also fun fact, like the song, apparently it was also co-written by an Australian Filipino artist. Her name is, let me just check. Yeah, her name is Vetaborn. Okay, Vetaborn. So shout out to shout out to Vetaborn and for helping co-write down this song because it's really good.
It was kind of like I said, it's really nice to finally hear like new music from YG from iKon, because I know there's been a lot of like quiet rumors about like are they going to get renewed by YG, like what's happening with their future, blah, blah, blah. Although they've been kind of like finally getting like stuff happening, like they finally have like a variety show on like the internet now, and they're finally like promoting stuff, and obviously the album and stuff coming out, and like because people were wondering obviously since Bobby got married and had a kid, and like all the other members were doing other individual like promotions and stuff with other stuff going on right now, so it was just like what's the future of iKon. And I think they announced at least a Asian tour. I don't think they announced a world tour to come over to like this part of the world yet. Like every other group I feel like has announced a world tour to come over to America. They say world tour, but it's like, do they just come to America? So lies, but yeah, I'm hoping they maybe potentially come overseas to perform, but we'll see what happens. Are there any other B-sides to this album that you really enjoyed?
I think I think my favorite one was my Dragon, because it's YG, it's YG manufactured. Like you can obviously you can hear by how how it's produced, but it's at its best because it's manufactured at its best. It sounds actually different than the typical arrangement and production that YG usually does. And even the noise blaring with the bass really gets you pumped up. It's something that you could hear if you're in the 2000s club dance. But the other songs that I didn't name because it's not my favorite, but I really appreciate it's a more sentimental, showing them the more sentimental side of iKon. I don't know if this was part of the plan, or if Bobby really did dedicate this to his wife, because a lot of the songs really felt like it's Bobby's message to his wife, saying his love for her, about his family. So if that was the case, it's a pretty sweet for him to do that for the album.
And it could be. I don't know. I don't know what Bobby's been doing. I mean, Band's been busy. He's married and had a kid. Yeah. Man's been busy. Yeah, no, I really appreciate Dragon. You can tell it's a YG sound, but it's it's mature in a way. Because we were having that complaint with Treasure, how it's very predictive, very manufactured YG. While this still sounds like YG, there's a maturity to it and a polish to it that makes it their own, makes it unique in a way. And yeah, it's definitely got that more clubby sound and style, and that I really like about iKon. I like stuff that's more clubby in your face, your Rhythm Taz or your Bling Blings or something like that. Yeah, and I also liked you probably are not a big, because I know you're not a big fan of the ballads and stuff, but I really liked the last one on the album, Name, which is a rock ballad for them. Which makes me wonder if they took some tips from B2B when they were on Kingdom.
Maybe.
Because there's almost some big B2B influence on it a little bit. Especially towards the end of some of the harmonies. I felt getting some B2B inspiration there. I wonder if they took some hints or some tips from, seeing them on Kingdom and talking with them, off stage and stuff. So potentially. So yeah, I thought this was a good comeback for them. It was just fun to see them come back with something a little bit more different, a little bit more mature for them. Because they've had the swagger, and the kind of in your face sound for a while, but this is just a little bit more mature in a way.
Yeah,
they're growing
up. I really
up.
appreciate the growth and in their music.
Yeah, I really, really appreciate it. So it's good seeing growth. It really is. So, and I'm really excited to see what the future of iKon is. I'm hoping there is a big future for them coming, because they deserve it, because they've been one of YG's pillars as of late. As much as people want to ignore that, they have been. So
the third generation, they go hand in hand with Blackpink, because I think they were the guy groups third generation YG group.
And Winner too. I mean, they with their fellow Hungs, Winner. It's Winner, Blackpink, and iKon. They are their three pinnacle groups at YG for that era, and they need to be more appreciated, I think. So by YG, not by the public. The public appreciates them enough, I think, because they have the iconics are definitely out there, but I feel the company needs to appreciate them more. That's just my opinion.
Hello, everybody tuning in to the Noonas podcast. Andrew here, back again with another reaction. Now we have iKon Flashback. It's an EP. Let's go. Track number 1. But You. Wow. I'm literally right off the bat hit with this exhilarating synthesizer. These drums are kicking in. It's a really nice touch. Of course, I gotta say it. I keep saying it about all these groups, but this group sounds fucking amazing. They sound great vocally. I absolutely love it. The beat itself kind of reminds me of something off of kind of After Hours from The Weeknd. Kind of 80s synthesizer inspired, and it really just kind of sets the tone for the rest of the EP. Track number 2. Dragon. I gotta say, I love the guitar in this track. I love the beat drop on this. The group has this fantastic chemistry that is present here and present throughout the whole project. And of course, they sound great. The synthesizer is awesome, so on, etc. Track number 3. For real? Question mark. The drums on this track, dude, they're a really nice touch. The guitar in the background, it's just so good. And of course, this group kills it. For sure, dude. For sure. Track number 4, Gold. I gotta say, I love the beat on this one. I love the melodic flow that goes throughout this track. You know, that's worked in towards like the tail end. And I absolutely love everything about this song. Love everything about, you know, their performances, the beat drop, everything about this track. Great, dude. Great. I love it. Track number 5, Name. We are at the end. It's a nice ballad, kind of slow, stripped back track. There's a nice little piano going on. You know, that's just the icing on the cake there. The vocal performances are fantastic. And in the second half, you know, we get this nice little quick raps, melodic flow section. Yeah. And I would say this is it's a solid 9.5 out of 10 for sure for me. So yeah, that's my rating reaction to this EP, and I will see you soon in the next reaction.
On to our second last review of the week, and that is from 5-4, and that's from soloist Woodz with his newest album, Colorful Trauma, and the title track, I Hate You.
Thank you. Love you too.
I love you too, Jenny. But we were talking before with Moonbyul with, you know, these like throwback pop punk sounds. We're back in that vein again with that throwback sound, especially with I Hate You. It's really bringing it back to like that pop punk, or like early to mid 2000s, you know, break out the black eyeliner and the layered shirts and stuff, like
Yeah.
fully into that kind of vibe and mood. My emo pop punk heart is bleeding for this one.
I know every time I listen to like some of the, like, you know, the songs, like, you know, from Moonbyul and now Woodz, is like, okay, like I know Junie's gonna love this. Right up in her alley.
Yep, pretty much. This is definitely one that hit all my like yes because it's my sentimentalities. There was like some small tinges I felt in here that like made it feel like second gen K-pop, which was again around that same time too. So like I said, it just kind of brings back that whole era of music, like the 2000s era of music. And like it's fun. It's really fun to see Woodz like, you know, branching out, 'cause especially with his last album, which was definitely more like sultry R&B.
Yeah. And
a little bit more like dark and seductive in a way. This is way different in terms of, this is very rock across the board.
It left into like another spectrum of music genre.
Yeah, like it completely like a whole like different jump in genres here, because it's fully like camped into that rock vein of things. I mean, starting with the first track with Dirt on My Leather, like,
oh my god, yeah, I think like, that is my thing. That's right up in my taste of like my type of rock music.
It's very classic rock. It's very like 70s, 80s classic rock. Like especially like that first like guitar riff went off to the start of that song.
Yeah,
I'm like,
oh my god.
I'm in. I'm totally in.
Yeah, I think to me, like you said, like it's more of a 70s type of rock, but I think it's more of like going back to the 2000s, because it has like it really feels inspired by like a lot of those bands in the 2000s where like they do a lot of like rooted like DIY like you can do it yourself garage rock, and you know like a rock, you have like you can hear that like rock and rock composition. If you guys like listen to rock music, especially from the 50s to like the 70s, you can hear like the rhythm and blues like chord, you know strumming. you know, you would be really familiar to that. And
Mhm.
it feels more like in tune with, you know, with White Stripes and the Hives, or even the Black Keys, more like with like the type of sound.
Because it's like more of the plucking and stuff. Is that
Yeah,
kind
but
of where
also
you
like
feeling?
yeah, it was like the really grimy type of like, you know, the garage rock that happened in the 2000s. I think it's like more right up in like, you know, that type
Okay.
of like that field. That's in my opinion.
Okay, I know. For me, it was screaming classic rock, and like there's some aspects of me screaming classic rock, like the rock I used to grow up with my dad.
Yeah.
Like that he play all the time because he play a ton of prog rock and a lot of classic rock. So like
Oh man.
that's where a lot of my tastes come from. You guys, you can thank my dad for it.
Same here. I'm more of like a classic rock, you know, like prog rock type of like eclectic type of like rock music.
Yeah, so it's definitely my my childhood right there. So
Yeah.
because this whole album is very rock oriented, very rock forward. Which, and then like even the album art itself, like it's like it feels very early aughts, you know, with the title and his outfit and everything. Like it was screaming early 2000s to be like Bully Maguire, you know, Bully Maguire-esque China.
Oh, okay. I was about to make that reference for the next group, but okay, but we're gonna do that when.
And I know why. We'll get to that here in a minute. Okay, hi. But yeah, because like it's definitely getting to those kinds of levels of that's the kind of mood for me a little bit. But I really liked how rock forward this album was, because like it's really fun.
Yeah.
Like I feel like every time Woodz puts something out, like he's always trying something new. He's always trying something different to expand his sound and his tastes, and I'm here for it. And this was a great.
Diverse.
Yeah, it's a diverse album. I mean, it was going to be really, really, really hard, I think, for him to follow up his last album, because I think I had that as one of my top albums of last year, or at least on my best of, or like just outside my best of, with Only Lovers Left. I can't remember if I had it in my top 10 or if it was just outside my top 10. I think I had it in my top 10, because that was just such a good album. This now it doesn't quite get there, but it's close. Like I
think it's more of my style though. I think I like this personally more than Only Lovers Left, because it really goes back into my nostalgic, like my rock phase back in high school. Like, well, thank you, Wood.
Yeah, thanks for flashing me back to my high school days. I appreciate it. Are there any other B-sides that you really, really liked off of Colorful Trauma?
One would be Hijack, because it's more of like an alt rock and more like a hip hop rap like mixed in. Yeah, a bit of like a Linkin Park, but yeah, like it reminds me of like those days. Yeah,
a little industrial metal, a little hip hop in there. Yeah, I really liked Hijack too. I think that was a really standout B-side as well. Like, yeah, if you want your if you want pure rock, like flashback to like early aughts, go listen to Colorful Trauma. That's gonna fulfill that easily for you.
Hello, everybody tuning in to the Noonas podcast. Andrew here, back again with another music reaction for y'all. I have Woodz Colorful Trauma EP. So should we just get right into it? Track number 1, Dirt on My Leather. So right off the bat, this track hits you straight up with the rock vibes, with that nice guitar. Woodz is coming in with those great vocals. You know, his vocal range is very, very good, might I say, throughout this EP. I absolutely love the rock vibes on this. And the lyrics are extremely catchy on this EP. Track number 2, Hijack. Again, the guitar, really nice on this track. And the guitar with the synthesizer, oof. Nice touch, absolutely. The rock vibes are continuing on this track as well, and we also get a nice little melodic kind of, rapping, thing going on in this track from Woodz too. And also, I do want to shout out the drums in this track. The drums are very, very, very nice on this track. Track number 3, I Hate You. The guitar does not stop in this EP. It continues. The guitar in this track continues those vibes from the previous track. The breakdown to the hook, in my opinion, was really well done. I really enjoyed that. And just Woodz, in general, is a fantastic vocalist. I love him so much. Nice little banger on this track. Nice song. Good song. Track number 4, Better and Better. I absolutely love the vibe on this particular track. It is very, very, very good. The beat has a nice rhythm to it. Of course, Woodz kills it on this track. And, I can really tell that Woodz is being genuine here. The emotion he presents is very raw, very serious, very, concrete and actually, in the moment. Yeah, absolutely love this track. And the final one, track number 5, Hope to Be Like You. It's a nice stripped back ballad song. I adore the slight electronic piano and synthesizer in the background. It's just a really well done love song, and ironically, I love it too. My final rating would be, I want to say I would give it a 10, but it's like a 9.5 out of 10. I think that's my final rating for sure. So yeah, that's my reaction rating to this EP. I will see y'all on the final reaction next.
But let's finish up with our last episode.
Last episode.
We're done. No, we're done with this episode after this. But let's finish up with our last review of this episode, was what I was trying to say. With our final review of the week from May 9th. And that is another HYBE group, actually. And this is from the big hit side of HYBE, which is Tomorrow by Together with minisode 2, Thursday's Child. Which for Tomorrow by Together fans, for any MOAs out there or not MOAs, MOA being their fandom, basically minisodes are they're interlude albums in between eras. So we're in between eras for Tomorrow by Together right now, because we just finished the Chaos chapter. So I have no idea what the next era will be, but TBD. Meanwhile, with Thursday's Child, Tomorrow by Together has completely entered their bad boy era, I feel like.
Yeah, this is after their post breakup from their love song, or I'm a loser lover.
Mm-hmm.
This is their post breakup, fuck everything, fuck everything, and destroy the whole properties. That was just this is their Bully Maguire era.
Yes, this is truly the Bully Maguire era of Tomorrow by Together. Going from the title track itself, literally called "Good Boy Gone Bad," cannot be any clearer than that. What's the first thing I wrote down? Choi Yoon-jun, you need to stop right now. That's what I wrote down, because that man, I swear to God, it keeps wrecking me.
Dude, he was I was kind of wrecked from his dance cover with Chaewon's Fearless, because he was really into it, the grinding and all that. Wow.
Woyoung Changbin, come collect your mans, please come collect your mans right the fuck now. Oh my god,
my son.
My son. Oh my god, this, I cannot with him. Oh, I know he's my bias, but seriously.
Yeah. Also, there's another group that's going through the rock phase. Well, and they've been doing that. HYBE's been doing that with their groups lately, except for the Sserafim. Mm-hmm. But the way, because it's really rock heavy, and it's more of 2000s, almost a new metal, because it went to a portion, or it went to a part where I was expecting Fred Durst to pop in, because the post-chorus, because they were how they rap is good boy, come bad, good boy, come bad. It's okay, where's Fred Durst? Where's Fred? Where is he? He's about to hit the nookie.
Oh my god.
Okay.
Now I'm flashing back to a conversation we had over the weekend. Oh my god. Hi.
Right?
Hi. Wow. Because I was talking to my friends about music over the last weekend. Now I'm having flashbacks to that. Thanks, Ginny.
Limp Bizkit for the win.
Yeah. Yeah, it's really they fully embraced this bad boy. Every member embraced the bad boy. I was watching this with my roommate, and she's she had asked me, who's the one in the black lace in the phone booth? I'm that's the youngest member. That's hitting Kai. She's oh, because he's wrecking me really hard.
Yeah,
I'm
Hidden
like,
Kai, yeah. They're really good. They're all good looking, but
yeah.
yeah, Hidden Kai.
But yeah, I will not lie. Yeah, Heating Kai was leaning close to bias record status. Taehoon is officially hit bias record status for me in this group. We'll note
Yeah,
that.
Bumgyu is my bias, and tomorrow by together.
Bumgyu, I think Bumgyu is actually no. Kaya's biased to one of my friends. Hi, Irene. Love you. She's
I miss Bumgyu's like his long mullet hairstyle, but
Yeah. Also, can I say shout out to Bumgyu actually getting more lines? Yes.
Nice.
Yes. He finally got more lines. But yeah, this is like. I also like the line, like I think with Taehoon at the end, it was like I love to lie, that like more melodic, like second, like post chorus, the second post chorus where I love the line. I'm like that hit me in the heart. I was like, oof, hi, oh my god. I'm like, yeah, I'm here for it. I'm really, really here for it. I will say there are moments at time where it feels it's a tiny bit, it could be a little bit fuller. Like there could be maybe a little bit more scratching guitar bass to me. That's just a personal opinion to me. Like it could be a tiny bit fuller, but otherwise I think it's a solid title track. Like I said, they're fully reached Bully Maguire status, bad boy era here. So congratulations. We've officially hit full emo.
Yeah.
Are there any other tracks off of minisode 2 that catch your ear?
I think Thursday's Child has far to go. I think I love like the melancholic power synth that they have there. It has like that really pensive, like you're yearning for like a purpose and finding a new path, which is pretty much in line with the group's concept of like what it means to be growing up and like going through like the phases of childhood into their teenage years. Mm-hmm. So yeah, and I really loved like that song.
Yeah, the two I really liked opening sequence. There's something really haunting to it. Like it's really, really dark and kind of morbid's maybe too harsh of a word, but there is something. It's really dark and haunting to way to open up this album, especially before Good Boy Gone Bad. Like there's this, it's like it feels Post Malone, but like Post Malone is like super dark. Like mm-hmm. That's kind of the vibes I got from opening sequence, just especially the way it's all melodically put together. It's really haunting. And then I really liked Lonely Boy, subtitled The Tattoo on My Ring Finger, which I swear to God, there has to be somebody over at Big Hit who's listening to a lot of Post Malone, because this sounds a lot like Post Malone. Although really? Because it has like definitely Post Malone vibes, but I really enjoyed it for them. I don't know if somebody is listening to a lot of Post Malone over at Hype. They could be. I
think they really like like a lot of groups are into Post Malone.
Yeah, so it wouldn't surprise me. I know Hidden Kai actually had more writing status on this one. So he had a lot of writing input on this one. So he might have so definitely some more influence on him. So because it's nice. I know Yeonjun has quite a bit of writing status, since he's really like nobody really group really has like a role. Like that was kind of one of the things when they debuted. There's nobody's like a lead dancer, lead singer, lead rapper. Like they all do it. But like Yeonjun's the one who's kind of stood out as like the main rapper of the group, I feel like.
Yeah. He's done a lot of like some singing stuff, because mm-hmm. I remember from his Eternally song. Yeah, really like, good voice.
Eternally, the music video that'll fuck you up in 20 minutes. But it's I guess Yeonjun does a lot of writing usually for a lot of this stuff too, like sub writing and stuff. But yeah, it's just nice to see Kai getting some writing. I think Bumgyu got some writing on a track as well, and I can't remember which track it was now, but I know I saw the members did get some more writing credits on this one, so they are getting more input.
In the BTS thing where like BTS are going to be more self-produced.
Yeah, so we're getting those more self-produced albums, so hopefully we'll see more of that coming forward with Tomorrow by Together. I mean, they definitely are hitting major popularity. Which makes me really angry that when they announced their concert dates in America, they somehow booked venues that were like 5,000 seats or less.
Yeah, I was really curious. It's just like, why are they like, wait, like whose idea was that to like put them on this venue?
Because I know. I'm sitting here. I'm like, why? Because like I'm like, it's gonna be one. I thought it was a bloodbath to try to get tickets for Stray Kids, which I'm still trying to get tickets for Stray Kids. You guys, it's been a nightmare. But trying to get tickets for Tomorrow Night Together is gonna be worse because there's limited tickets, obviously, and I know they could sell at venues the size of like what Stray Kids is selling. Even maybe tiny. Probably they probably could sell at the same size venues as Stray Kids. So. I don't know exactly what Big Hit and Hype were thinking when booking this tour, honestly.
They're not big enough.
Yeah, because like they're definitely like I know because I mean this album these albums themselves actually pre-sold like I think they're like one of the biggest pre-sales ever. I think it was over like 1.5 million pre-sales on this.
Wow.
I know there was a bet because there was a bet that like. Oh, there's a bet too because I just saw on Twitter the other day that once KS Chapter Freeze actually passed 1 million sales, Yeonjun was going to sit in the freezer for 100 minutes.
What?
I don't know. They're so dumb. It happened. It's on Twitter. If you want to see this, because they're just dumb.
They're so dumb. They're like us dumb. They're like, can they dumb with our for our idols because it's bringing me like a lot of like Park Ji Sung from NCT vibes. I know they're young, but they can be like really naive. I
don't know. Like all of a sudden, there's a video of just like it's like Moonbyul asking like, "Hi, hey, where's Yeonjun?" He's like, "Oh, he's in his room." They open up the freezer and just Yeonjun's sitting in the freezer eating a popsicle. He's like, Hung, we had over 1 million albums, so he's like, yeah. It's like, can you leave me alone? And just shuts the freezer. It's so dumb. It's so dumb, but it's them. I don't expect anything less from them, honestly.
Typical Gen Z behavior from like our 4th gen groups.
Yeah, I don't expect anything else from them, honestly. Much less from them. So they are chaotic as hell, and I love it. But yeah, no, I'm excited because, like I said, this is a minisode from them. So we are in between eras. So the next era is just around the corner, and who knows what's gonna happen because. Yeah, we're definitely reaching bad boy emo vibes currently with Tomorrow Night Together. The last couple comebacks, so it's just been a natural progression. I guess I don't know. Am I waiting? I don't think we've quite achieved their Blood, Sweat, and Tears era, which honestly, God scares me.
Have we been okay? Like, I was like kind of trying to compare like which song is already in their Blood, Sweat, in Blood, Sweat, and Tears era.
Yeah,
because I don't know if we reached a peak yet, but with
I feel like we've hit their most beautiful moment era, honestly, with this past era. If you want to be comparison to BTS and Tomorrow Night Together, these last year are kind of like their most beautiful moment era songs between Loser equals Lover and Love Song. I Know I Love You. So yeah, kind of potentially getting to that point. So.
Hello, everybody tuning into the Noonas podcast. This is my final music reaction. I know the last one. TXT Tomorrow by Together. EP minisode to Thursday's Child. So we get right into the first track, opening sequence. It is truly a beautiful treat to your ears. You have the beautiful piano going on. You got the group's vocals. Beautiful. Just love it. I love how the drums are blending in with the synthesizer in the back. Oh, man. That part. Oh, my God. I love that so much. The hook, it's very good. Very catchy. This little guitar in the background is the icing on the cake, and I love it. I also love the melodic flow that the group utilizes in this song. It's just a really good song, man. Just really, really, really good. Track number 2, Good Boy Gone Bad. So the guitar on this in the beginning and throughout the track, very good, very killer, very good for sure. The kicking drums, the like little doot 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 beat, like I love the drums in this track. It is really good. The beat is fucking crazy, and the hook, of course, is extremely catchy. I really don't know what else to say. I mean, really, I could go on and on about this. Track number 3, Trust Fund Baby. This is we kind of get thrown for a loop here. We get a nice little stripped back ballad. We get the pianos in the background. They're very beautiful. The synthesizer with the keyboard clashing together is just amazing, man. I love it. I love this song in general. It's a really good song. Track number 4, Lonely Boy, The Tattoo on My Ring Finger. What a great way to start this track off with that acoustic guitar at the beginning. Just a nice touch. The drums added to the bass in this track is really a treat to your ears when you hear it. When it's like booming all throughout, surrounding your ears and going through your head. It sounds fucking amazing. The group obviously flows well together. The lyrics obviously catchy, so on and so on. Track number 5, Thursday's Child has far to go. Sorry, I'm trying to complete sentences here, folks. The synths with the keyboard, just beautiful. This group really utilizes synthesizers and keyboard together in a very well manner. And I think really here, this final track is where they do it the best because, we get this nice little melody, this melody going on. It's kind of like a nice 80s track, throwback style type of track. I've compared some of the tracks to After Hours. I would say this, I could correlate it to that, although I'm struggling just a little bit to correlate it to any other thing specifically, but it kind of just reminds me of like those cool little 80s tracks that you'd hear in like GTA or something. But yeah, this was a good solid little EP. It was, I'd like to say a 9.5 out of 10 for sure. I'm giving high praise, but I gotta be honest, on the first listen to some of these, it's really impressive. A lot of these albums, EPs are just really, truly that good. And I do love them for sure. So yeah, that's my rating on, well, I guess we made it to the end on this last one. And I'm at the end for sure.
But we did it, Ginny.
Yeah, is it under like the 2-hour mark? Oh wait, yeah, we are in 2 hours. So
I think we're just under. We're just over 2 hours. It's not terrible.
Yeah.
It's not terrible at all. We did it. I mean, the episode's gonna be longer because I have reviews of Andrew. We have Andrew on to add to the show.
So,
which, again, I appreciate Andrew. Very much appreciate you coming on and dropping some reviews for us. Hopefully, we can actually get you on the episode one day soon, so we can actually talk K-pop with you and maybe give you some recommendations. We love giving recommendations. If you can't tell on the show, yeah. As we wrap up here, we will definitely drop Andrew's socials. If you all want to check out his stuff, if you want to check out his podcast, he has an amazing music review podcast. He reviews like all different kinds of music. It's a fantastic show. Really highly recommend you check it out. So, I guess with that, I'm just going to lead right into, before we get into plugging all of our stuff, there's not much else coming. Well, there's a lot coming up because everyone's trying to get their stuff out before BTS.
Which is going to be an anthology album. So wait, are they going to have a new song in their title track yet?
They said there's 3 new songs.
3 new songs. So if they're going to be contending for for the awards, would that count for best album too? Because I know it's going to be still with their older, it's going to be 3 songs, sure, but.
Well, it's interesting because I did see the album because the album list has now come out for Proof, which is the new album, the new anthology album for BTS, which, not going to lie, I'm a little disappointed because I was hoping for an actual album, especially the way they were hyping it up, but.
Yeah. Okay, the anthology is the greatest hits of BTS. But we're still gonna have the 3 songs. But but would that count for? I guess if they want to do best album, would that go to BTS or?
It's interesting because a lot of the stuff coming out is there's some demos and some other sidetracks. One of the songs coming out is literally the Tony Montana, Suga and Jimin collab, which Tony Montana is a track off of August D1. So, and I think it's the one that they did, is that Muster 3 in Japan? I can't remember which muster it is. It's one of the musters, which is their big fan thing they do right around anniversary. And it's the one that he did with Jimin. I think they're going to have that on the album. There's a couple other demos and stuff of other songs and some other like B-sides and stuff. I will say I was really happy to know that the one cipher they put on there was Cypher 3 Killer. Yes, the highest ones of the ciphers high. Don't at me. But yeah, there's a mix of like the solo stuff, like unit stuff, obviously all the titles, like the major title tracks, demos and stuff on the album. So like it's a jam-packed album. Like we're getting some nice stuff. I was hoping we were going to get some like remixes or something, because like there's some concert remixes like I wish they would actually put on the album for.
Oh, okay.
So that's what I was kind of hoping for, or I was kind of hoping they would potentially put some of their SoundCloud stuff on there. Like Dang. I was hoping to finally get Dang on an album, but alas, we're not. But with that being said, yeah, we have that, and the potential rumor of a Blackpink comeback happening in June too. So I think everybody and their mother is steering clear of June right now.
I know. It's just like, wow. It's like, okay, it hasn't been confirmed yet because YG's like, nah, we're not going to do that. But, you know, we couldn't we wouldn't put past them. But yeah, it's like,
yeah,
still, you know, yes, could have had like, left some kind of like warning or something, or and like, I guess like some kind of like, you know, promotion, but like something to like get people excited instead of like having baseless rumors.
Yeah, just rumors that are just floating around in the sky currently. So but that's the current rumor. So it's like everyone's coming back, because we have comebacks coming this month yet from 17. We have a comeback from NCT Dream, which is technically a repackage. We have a comeback from Viction. We have a comeback. I just looked at all these comebacks earlier today. There's a comeback coming from, oh goodness, who else is all coming back this month? GOT7, which was finally announced, their first official comeback as independent artists outside of JYP. Props to them.
I'm so excited. Oh my gosh.
So excited for them. I knew a comeback from Kang Daniel coming. There's an Astro comeback, a ONEUS comeback. There's a lot of comebacks coming, guys. So just stay tuned. This May is coming insane with comebacks. So because everyone's
we're reaching the blockbuster of K-pop.
Yeah, we're reaching a blockbuster before obviously the big anthology drops, which at this point I'm wondering like this is it for BTS until like military. So like I think that's why they're dropping it now. So
yeah, I wish they could have made like a full album before like, you know, one of them kicks off to the military. But yeah,
I know, me too. But I wonder. There's also talks like this was potentially supposed to come out after 7, but because of COVID, it kind of messed things up, and that's why we got Dynamite and Butter and Permission to Dance. So. Dang you, COVID. Anyway, but
pun intended. Dang you, COVID.
Yes, because my boyfriend says always intend your puns. But I guess with that, let's just take it right to our outros here, and with our plugs to our socials. Starting first with our special guest Andrew. Andrew, take it away.
So you guys can follow me, Andrew Stedl, on Facebook if you so choose to. You can follow me on YouTube, Andrew Stedl. I got movie reviews. I got podcasts on there. We also do on my channel, Scratch That. Let's talk about this with my friend Alvaro, where we discuss, music. We discuss pop culture topics. We discuss political stuff even. We discuss a variation of many different things in the show. Brand new episode coming out soon, even though we're going to be getting hiatus for a while. Till about a little bit in June. You can also check out some Only Murders discussed on this podcast on my channel. New season coming soon, actually, oddly enough, in June. So maybe I'll get the gang back together and we will, discuss season 2 of Only Murders in the Building. You can follow me on Twitch at Steadily Medley. That's also my music page, which I hope to soon get you a little bit of that going on. But for now, y'all will be able to see me Tuesdays once everything's all finalized. Tuesdays from 8 to 9 p.m. If there's anything in the future with that, I will let y'all know. So now that I've shouted everything out, I want to thank Jenny and Ginny for letting me go ahead and do this for them, even though I couldn't be there in person when they were recording. I'm so thankful for them inviting me on to even discuss all this. And that's all. Andrew is out.
And now to you, Ginny.
You can find me at Ginny Liano on Facebook. So that's GINNYLEANO. You can check out my design pages at Ginny Liano Designs, Instagram at Ginny Designs, and you can, all the links to my personal pages would be down below at the descriptions. And back to you, Jenny.
And you can find me, Jenny. You can find me over on Facebook, facebook.com/Jenny Matasek. That's Jenny with an I, Matasek. You can also find me over on Instagram and on Twitter at Chaos Bulldog. You can also find the show pages for the Noonas podcast over on Instagram and Twitter as well at Noonas_podcast. Don't forget that underscore. You can also check out past SoundCloud playlists, Spotify playlists, and the SoundCloud links to the show under those handles. Or you can listen to the show just audio version only on SoundCloud, soundcloud.com/Noonas podcast, all one word. And you can also check out the video form of our show now on Facebook and on YouTube. Just search the Noonas podcast. Make sure you click to like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. We'd love to hear from you guys each and every episode. And also check out our producer, Alan, who helps us get our video form of our episodes together every single time. Amazing dude. Go check him out over on Twitch, twitch.tv/BirdmanAli. Does some great video game playthroughs and stuff. Is just a great dude overall. Thank you so much, Alan, every time for helping me put these episodes together. You can also check out our other socials and stuff in the descriptions of the show. I have them all linked now here for us just to make things easier for you all. But yeah, this has been an episode of the Noonas podcast. Thanks again, Andrew, so much for your reviews this week. We will get you on the show once. I promise you we will get you on the show. I worry now for like our end of the year because we're going to have a lot of top 10 lists with all of our guests.
Oh, dude. We could have I was imagining already an Avengers Endgame, of all of us and our guests coming together. That'll be a huge, it'll be a really great, collaboration and type of team up we can do. But it's going to be over 3 hours. It's going to be over 3 hours. It's like Avengers Endgame.
Yeah, Cedric, do you hear that? That'll be our 3-hour episode. My boyfriend keeps complaining, you guys should do a 3-hour episode, 4-hour, 5-hour episode. I'm like,
no, we could have Cedric do a different opening for those special events. So keep that in mind. No pressure from you, Cedric, but something to consider.
I just have him do another hype track for us, like he did before for our comeback. I should just have him do that again. Baby, you're on standby for that. But oh my God, we did it. We made it through this massive comeback list because we just had to play catch up this week, but we did it. Hopefully in a pretty timely time for you guys this week. I hope you guys all enjoyed it. We'll be back soon. I know our producer Alan is not unfortunately, but he's going on vacation. So it's unfortunate for me because I don't know how to video, but I know he's going to Vegas actually for EDC. So have fun in Vegas, dude. I swear all the K-pop fans are out of Vegas at this point because BTS is not the BBMAs this year. So you don't have to worry about that. Yeah, but we'll be back soon. We're going to have another slew of reviews for you and news and other K-pop goodness for you. And I guess with that, we'll sound off with a resounding fighting.